What's going on, everybody? Hey, man, we are here getting ready to see the announcement of the new football coach, Coach Quinn. Going to share the stream. I'm having a little bit of camera problem. I'm here. I'm a little bit of camera problem, but like, man, we're going to do that. I know they're streaming it, but we're going to stream it too, just so we can have our chat and, have our discussions and things like that. So, guys, buckle up. Look forward to seeing what you guys think about the new coach. And looks like they'll be getting started shortly. Just waiting for press conference to start. No idea. They got to probably get a lot of people in place, have everybody looking good. Yeah, guys, Rattler Nation is super excited. Wait a minute, hold on, guys. Yeah, I think, man, people are super excited, man. Rattler Nation is super excited, man. Last year was a interesting and difficult year for the Rattler Nation, man. But like I say, you got to give credit to the administration, to the people that were running athletics, made a change. People are excited. Money's being raised. Recruits are coming back. Coach Quinn Gray is exciting to hire. Man, I want to see what everybody, thinking about you. Hey, man, what's up, Bridges? Hey, you know what I'm saying? Get that like up, hit those like buttons. Appreciate everybody joining. Man, I wanted to just do that stream. You know how we just give a little bit of commentary to it. Just a little bit of commentary. Sit up here and have it on a Friday, man. I hope everybody's doing great. Hope everybody, doing well at their jobs and their families, everything. I am here. You know who I am, Mr. Campbell. Like I say, favorite HBCU on HBCU Coaches Corner, doing our thing. So, like I say, just doing this, for a service. And plus, a lot of other people are not going to be able to see it live, but they will see it on FAMU YouTube channel. But of course, a lot of people see it on the Off Script and the Rocky channel here. And plus, we get in the chat and talk about what we saw. So, man, tell us what you think about the hire. Tell us, how excited you are. Just let everybody know. Together. Oh, wait a minute. Oh. Jay, that's a great question. There have been leaks of who the staff is. I mean, it's already out there. Clinton Porter is our new running back coach. Ron Dugans will be the wide receiver coach. Ryan Lewis, who I'm super excited about, former defensive coordinator for Alabama State, will be our DC. I know the offensive line coach is coming from Albany State. Safeties coach coming from Albany State. Coach Billy Roll, I was told, is going to be back on the staff. So, man, yeah, man, we are here. Man, it is, man, listen here, man. Derek Singleton, man, this ain't nothing but those folks from Jackson in the house. The first FAMUan that blazed the trail. Also, the trailblazer that integrated my high school. It's interesting we talk about integration when we saw Ole Miss last night, but there it is. So, yeah, man, we just in to have a good time, man. Appreciate everybody joining us up, man. Appreciate looking at the Rattler Nation coming in, man. Look at the Rattler Nation coming in. So, yeah, we're waiting. I got it set up, as you can see on FAMU YouTube. As soon as that starts, we'll get going and everything. Of course, I'll keep my mouth shut and let them talk. Man, good to see the Rattlers, man, to see a lot of smiles, man. It was, again, a rough year last year. But again, we saw the potential of the team, and we feel that we got the right coach. I know a lot of people out there raising money. Shout out to my classmate Marvin Green that's doing it, and I'm gonna be putting a post on that link or that post so you guys can give money. Also, I'm gonna be giving my money in a special way pretty soon. So man, listen, I want everybody to enjoy themselves, man. This is a good time for the Rattlers. Shout out to everybody that supports the football team, and shout out to everybody that loves HBCU sports, man. Real excited about this. Got a lot of people coming in. Come on in, man. Tell the Rattlers to come in, man. This is the best way to watch it, man. Come on here, watch it with your boy. American brother has COVID been. I don't know. I'm not going to even lie. I do not know. Hit that like button. Everybody, hit that like button for your boy. Let everybody know that you're supporting us and all the good things, man. We're here on the Off Script channel, and we're on the Rocky Mill channel, home of HBCU Coaches Corner. Yeah. Yeah, it's out there now. He ain't too far. He is actually, it's out there. He is a proud Bulldog. So like I say, again, it's amazing to me, but like I say, proud of the young man. Like I say, take advantage of the situation and, and achieve his dream. So like I say, man, once again, Alabama A&M was a great school. And that's one thing we always say, you go to HBCU, you can change your life. So I hope that it changes Scotty's life for the positive. Super excited about that. Like I said, I want him to announce it on his own terms. And again, it's been announced by 50 million other people. So I guess everybody was interested in where he's at. So I've seen everybody tweeting it. Some people don't like it, some people do, but who cares? It ain't your job. It ain't your life. So worry about your life. So that's the big thing. Yeah, you know what? I'm thinking that's going to come out soon. Like I say, Kev, a lot of that's been out. Like I say, Clinton Porter's the running back coach, Ron Lewis, DC, Ron Dugan's the wide receiver coach. So those are names that pretty much people know that are there. Billy Roll, I heard, is coming back. So, that's what we got out there. But I think they're going to make an official announcement. Maybe, it might be after this. We'll see. If there's a press release that's dropped, we'll kind of see how this goes. Of course, the new AD will be announced. We'll see how that goes and everything. That, salute to John Davis. He's the new AD, the 20th AD for Florida A&M. Looking for him to do some positive things. Again, we always want support. He's a Rattler now. So, we always want to be positive. And like I say, let's just build this program to what we know. And I'm talking about all the athletic programs, because every FAMU athletic program should be a championship level program. And shout out to Coach Gordon. And like I said, put it, man, listen, girls basketball, they had that rough out of conference, but shout out to Coach Gordon getting that big win against the Grambling girls last night, man, for real. Absolutely. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Sorry about that. There we go. Yeah, all right, man. Listen, there you go. Period. And I don't know if that's a good or bad statement that you're saying, but the bottom line is, the end part is what you're saying. I ain't gonna take it as a negative part of what you're saying in the first part, but it's his life. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, that's his business. That's how he moves. So, good luck to him. And I think that's what everybody should do, man. Listen, everybody got jobs. Ain't nobody worrying about where you work at. So, but hey, let's move on to the positive stuff. Hey, this is what we talking about. If you say folks, hey, man, give us, how FAMU is, man. We need to hook up. We need to see them lottery signs, sponsor, let's get us some money from that lottery. Let's do that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's get it. Let us get it. Again, got it. Everything, just keeping an eye on it. Like I say, definitely has not started yet. So, yeah, you know how that goes. People still trying to get in place. My nephew Bridget, what is going on, man? What's going on? Shout out to Pre-Stamp Reed. Absolutely. Yeah, Nehemiah, we don't know yet when they're going to make the official announcement. And again, I just kind of said some of the people that we've heard about, and we'll see. And we'll kind of talk about that after the press conference, who I've heard and know that's there. So it's not kind of no rumor. So we're not breaking no news. We ain't trying to get it. Hey, man, listen here, man. This guy right here, this is KJ Black, man. Listen. SWAC legend in the house, checking us out, man. Appreciate you, man, KJ. Shout out to those Prairie View Panthers, man. Got to see KJ, meet him in person, man. That was dope. and everything. Shout out to Prairie View Panthers, man. Listen, a lot of great stuff going on in HBCUs, man. We have seen a lot. And man, you know what? And I'm gonna tell you this too while we're waiting. Hey man, shout out to the kids that, you know what, started with us. We've seen some kids from FAMU, from Alabama State, from Delaware State, from Jack State. You know, they moved on to other schools. But you know what this shows? That we know how to develop kids. And this also should let kids know, don't be scared to come to HBCU. You can have a plan. And you know what? If your plan is to move up, you come with us. And maybe you know what you do? You come and you like it. You enjoy what it is. So I'm telling all recruits, do not count out HBCUs to start your football career. Absolutely. You know what? Listen. Hey, now, well, y'all talking some dangerous stuff right there. Y'all trying to get the band back together. You know, so hey, yeah, and listen, and Cat too, and you too, North Carolina A&T. We ain't forgot about that. And hey, listen, Tennessee State making some big moves. Got Matt Leone coming from Central to be the new offensive coordinator. Tell you what, too, and this was out there too. Big fight between Tennessee State and FAMU to get Ryan Lewis. There was an announcement that Ryan Lewis was coming to FAMU. Then there was an announcement he was going to Tennessee State. But guess what? Come on, man. You know, big Rattlers had to make that power move. So shout out to that. Listen, man. You know what's always good, man? Shout out to the new year, man. Shout out to Sweet Noop 6, man. You know, Happy New Year to you. Appreciate you joining us. You know, again, got to shout out my other nephew right here, Big Herb. I'm excited, man. Me and Big Herb talked about 3 hours last weekend about HBCU basketball, man. We're going to do something really big with that watch party when that game. We're going to want all you guys to come in there. Hopefully we can do something really interactive with that. Absolutely. You know what? Hey, Swag TV, let's give it credit. Improvement. Love what I'm seeing with the basketball. The announcements are getting better. Everything is tightened up, man. So like I said, absolutely. Hey, man, listen here, man. This is my other nephew. What up, Josh? What's going on, man? Like I said, proud of this brother, man, up there. Kent State doing it big. Man, or have you moved up to somewhere else? You know how you guys do it. But, man, appreciate you checking us out. And, yep, Reese, it is right here, man. It is right here. Shout out to AJ. Yeah, got to see. Yeah. Well, listen here. That coaching pool, man, listen, that money already been spent, bro. Like I told you, we got Clinton Portis, which is on the screen right now that I'm looking at on First Take. Got Ryan Lewis, Ron Dugans, you know, coaches from Albany State, man. So listen, man, Coach Quinn Gray is putting together a great staff. All right, just checking, make sure they haven't started nothing. Oh, wait a minute. What's going on with the YouTube here? Because I see some people clapping on Facebook. Let me share the Facebook because I see them clapping over there. You know what's going on to YouTube?
Thank you so much. Again, thank you, President and Chief Marketing and Communications Officer here at Florida A&M University, a proud alumna of the School of Journalism and Graphic Communications. Thank you so much for joining us for today's celebration as we introduce 2 dynamic leaders coming to the director, John F. Davis, and our new head football coach, Quinn Fordham Gray Sr. I'd like to thank all of our friends, Rattlers, proud diehard Rattlers who have joined us for today. I understand Commissioner Diane Cox is in the building. If you would stand and wave, thank you so much for your service. Well, all of our head coaches in athletics, if you're with us, please stand and be recognized. See Coach Shoup. Thank you so much. Coach Ward, thank you. Any members of the Eddie Jackson 220 Club, if you are here, please stand and be recognized.
220 Club, Eddie Jackson 220 Club.
And the Rattler F Club members, will you please stand and be recognized? Thank you so much. And the boosters, can't forget the Rattler boosters. We're gonna need you. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Oh, and please, senior leadership team for Florida A&M University, all of our academic faculty and administrators, please stand to be recognized. Thank you. Florida A&M University stands on excellence, pride, and an unshakable commitment to student success. And leading us forward with vision, energy, and purpose is a president who believes in the power of this institution and the promise of every Rattler. She is shaping the future of FAMU while honoring our proud legacy. Please join me in welcoming our Rattler-in-Chief, President Marva Johnson.
Good afternoon. Let's go. We never miss an opportunity to have a good beat around here. Good afternoon, Rattlers and friends, and Happy New Year. I pray that 2026 is off to a phenomenal start for all of you. And before we begin, I'd like to take a moment to recognize and thank our interim athletics director, Michael Smith, who I know you're. Mr. Smith, this marks the 5th time that you've stepped into the role as interim athletics director and the 5th time that you served this institution with honor, commitment, and valor. And we are so grateful. Every time the university's called, you've answered. Thank you again for providing the stability and continuity that we needed during this transition. And on behalf of Florida A&M University, I'd like to extend again our greatest of heartfelt gratitude. So thank you. And if your wife was here, I'd thank her as well, because I know it's not been easy on your family, and we have tremendous appreciation for you. I'm also delighted to welcome our new Vice President of Athletics and our director, our athletics director, John Davis. He's our 20th and our 20th head football coach. Sorry, guys. So if you all would please stand. Mr. Davis, Mr. Gray. As many of you know, these two gentlemen are among Florida's finest. They are exemplary examples of what talent and what valor we can develop here in Florida. A.D. Davis most recently served as the secretary for Florida's lottery. He managed over $9 billion in assets through that enterprise. He helped to expand our Bright Futures Scholarship Program across the state of Florida. A.D. Davis was also a Division I student athlete who excelled in football on the gridiron at Florida State University, and he trained under the legendary coach Bobby Bowden. The grit and perseverance of athletics has fostered his deep commitment to working hard for our young people, earning him honors such as the 5,000 Role Models of Excellence History Maker Award and the Man Up Mentoring Community Champion Award. A.D. Davis brings a modern, transformational perspective to our athletics program and to our leadership. This perspective aligns perfectly with our vision and his commitment to execution. He understands that building a championship athletics program today requires excellence in governance and student athlete development, compliance, revenue generation, community engagement, and strategic partnerships. His record for leading large, complex organizations, cultivating public trust, and delivering measurable results positions him well to elevate FAMU's athletics programs as we strive to be a competitive enterprise and to be a catalyst for our institution's growth. With his experience and his relationships, he is exceptionally well prepared to lead and advance FAMU's athletics mission. He will advance our mission in ways that help support the broader academic priorities and helps to accelerate our trajectory as a top 100 public institution. Similarly, Coach Quinn Gray is one of the most prolific quarterbacks in FAMU's history. He trained under the legendary coach, Billy Joe, and Gray was ranked one of FAMU's all-time leaders in passing yards, 7,378 passing yards. Pass attempts, 1,113 pass attempts. Pass completions, 562 pass completions, and touchdown passes, 57. I think it's going to be a little bittersweet for him to have to coach our boys to beat his own records, but we know that he will get us to a point where we can surpass even his own excellence. Coach Gray's path from standout student athlete to NFL professional to respected head coach reflects the excellence and resilience that we seek and we want to instill in our student athletes. Under his guidance, our students will be empowered to build strong personal brands while preparing them for long-term professional and personal success. Most importantly, Coach Gray knows what it's like to play at Bragg Stadium. Woo! And I believe that he is the right man to bring us that winning attitude back to the highest of 7 hills. At Florida A&M University, we are strengthening athletics not just as a separate enterprise, but as a powerful engine that fuels the institution's greater success. Championship athletics programs support student recruitment, retention, alumni engagement, philanthropy, corporate partnerships, and national brand visibility. All of these things are essential as we advance FAMU's mission among the top 100 public universities in the nation. When our teams compete at the highest level, our university competes at a higher level. FAMU athletics already stand at the forefront with a proud legacy of accomplishments through discipline, talent, and community pride. What we're building on now, today, with this leadership team in front of each of you, is a modern, integrated athletics enterprise, one that is fully aligned with our academic mission. Our students' access, our students' success, and our ability to make a priority for each of us consistently our focus on excellence. We will continue to strive to deliver value through our economic impact here in the state of Florida. And under the leadership of our athletics director, John Davis, and our new head football coach, Quinn Gray Sr., we are investing in competitive excellence, holistic student athlete development, NIL readiness, and professional pathways for our student athletes. We're preparing these student athletes to win, not just on the field, but to also lead wherever they go in life. I'm also grateful that FAMU will continue to benefit from the intercollegiate athletics enterprise and presidential advising of our former AD, Mrs. Suggs. Her leadership and national standing have helped strengthen our strategic approach to athletics, to compliance, and to conference engagement. The continuity of her counsel, combined with this bold new leadership team, positions us to move forward with confidence and clarity. Rattlers, this is how athletics strategies become our competitive advantage for the entire institution. This is how school spirit becomes enrollment momentum. This is how alumni pride translates to philanthropic power. And this is how Florida A&M University continues to rise. Forward ever, backward never. So here to discuss his vision for FAMU athletics, it is my pleasure to introduce Florida A&M University's new athletics director, John Davis.
Well, good afternoon, and thank you all for being here today. First, I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for his grace, his guidance, and the opportunity to be able to stand here before each and every one of you. I also want to thank my beautiful wife, Felicia. I want to thank her for her love, her strength, and her unwavering support. I could not do this work, nor be the man that I am without her. I'd also like to thank our president, Marva Johnson, for her trust, her leadership, and vision for Florida A&M University. From our very first conversation, President Johnson was clear about what this moment requires and what this institution deserves. I'm grateful for her confidence, and I'm fully committed to being able to execute her vision and the vision that this Board of Trustees has set before us. I would also like to recognize the Board of Trustees, which includes Chair Devron Gibbons and Vice Chair Mike White, our foundation board members, including Ken Neighbors, the chair, and Vice Chair Terrell Whitley, our alumni and donors, our faculty and staff, Rattler Nation, and most importantly, our student athletes. Everything that we do is all about our student athletes. Before I began to discuss our path forward of resetting the standard and building the future, I would just like to take just a few moments just to share why this opportunity matters so deeply to me. I'm a product of faith, family, and opportunity. I was raised by my mother with the support of my grandparents, my father, and others who believed in me. From a very young age, I was taught that education is the cornerstone to success. And where you start in life doesn't determine where you end. I learned that character matters, discipline matters, and the importance of preparation and a solid work ethic. Sports gave me structure and mentors. It taught me accountability, resilience, teamwork, and leadership. When I picture our student athletes today, I do not just see names on a roster or numbers on the depth chart. I see young men and women whose lives can be permanently shaped by the standards that we set, the systems that we build, in the leadership that we provide. And this is why this opportunity matters to me. Growing up in the rural community of Pahokee, Florida, athletics became a pathway for discipline and opportunity. Through hard work and dedication, I was blessed to earn a full ride scholarship to play football at Florida State University, where I learned what it means to prepare at the highest level, compete with excellence, and represent something that was bigger than myself. The lessons instilled in me by legendary coach Bobby Bowden and my position coach and defensive back coach Mickey Andrews about accountability, preparation, humility, and integrity have stayed with me throughout my life and continues to shape who I am today. Professionally, I have served in public and private sectors. And in every role, the assignment was the same: to bring discipline, build structure, strengthen governance, raise capital, earn trust, and deliver results. This is the mindset and the experience that I will bring to Florida A&M athletics. Today is just not simply about starting a new position. It is the beginning of an intentional path forward for this department. Intercollegiate athletics has changed dramatically. It is more complex, regulated, resource intensive, and more visible than ever before. To compete effectively, protect institutional integrity, and truly serve our student athletes, we must operate with rigor, transparency, and accountability of a modern enterprise. This reality is the foundation of Vision 2030, which is our comprehensive enterprise-level strategy to stabilize operations, modernize systems, diversify revenue, and position FAMU athletics for sustained competitive and academic excellence. This work will be guided by a leadership framework that is simple and proven. We will assess, we will stabilize, we will systematize, we will modernize, and we will transform this place. Every decision, investment, and every priority will align with this framework. Over the first 150 days, we will conduct a comprehensive enterprise-wide assessment of the athletics department. That assessment will examine governance, compliance, financial operations, organizational structure, facilities, revenue strategy, and competitive performance. There will be no assumptions and there will be no shortcuts. Facts will drive decisions. Data will guide action, and we will build through transparency. From that assessment, we will move immediately into stabilization. Stabilization means clearly defined roles, expectations, accountability across the entire department. It means strengthening controls, mitigating risk, and ensuring that everyone understands how success is measured and achieved. From that assessment, we'll move into our 6 to 12-month phase. Our focus will shift to systematization. This is where sustained processes, standardized operating procedures, and performance dashboards are organized and operate. This is how FAMU athletic will perform. In moving there, systems, not personalities, will drive outcomes. I repeat, systems, not personalities, will drive outcomes. As those systems take hold, we will modernize. Modernization means embracing innovation, technology, data, and best practices that reflects today's intercollegiate athletics landscape while honoring the history and the identity of FAMU. This includes modern revenue strategies, discipline compliance structure, enhanced student-athlete support services, and more sophisticated engagement with our alumni, our donors, and partners. A key component of modernization will be the development of a governed, compliant NIL ecosystem, one that educates and protects our student-athletes, creates transparent opportunity, and aligns with institutional values in strengthening our recruiting and retention. From there, we will begin to transform. Transformation will be both internal and outwardly facing. Internally, we will build a high-performance culture that's rooted in discipline, accountability, integrity, and excellence. Externally, we will strengthen our brand, expand partnerships, deepen alumni and donor engagement, and we'll position this university as a national model among our peers. This work will unfold over the next 2 to 3 years and culminate into Vision 2030, which is a fully modernized enterprise-level athletics department that reflects the aspiration of this university and the expectations of Rattler Nation. Throughout this journey, our student athletes will always remain at the center of every single thing that we do. They deserve an environment that supports academic achievement, personal growth, competitive excellence, and preparation for life beyond sports. That commitment is non-negotiable. Our coaches will play an extremely critical role in this transformation. They are not just tacticians on game day. They are teachers, mentors, culture builders, and leaders of young adults. We will fully support our coaches, and with that support will come high expectations. We will expect integrity, accountability, preparation, and align with the mission of this university. A championship culture is not something that you turn on during the season. It is built every single day through credible leadership, aligned systems, disciplined execution, and pride in how we represent Florida A&M University. We will also be strategic in how we grow revenue, manage resources, and steward the trust that's placed in us by this university and our supporters. Under my leadership, the athletic department will operate as the complex business that it is, while never, ever losing sight of its educational mission. President Johnson has set a clear mandate: excellence in governance, strong financial stewardship, operational credibility, and bold leadership in a changing higher education landscape. And athletics will be a visible reflection of this mandate. I believe deeply in this university, and I am honored to be able to serve. Now, before I close, I want to be very clear about something. Leadership is just not about vision. It is about commitment and leading by example. My wife, Felicia, and I, we've had conversations, and everywhere that we go, we must do our part as well. So today, we're committing $10,000 annually to Florida A&M athletics. This is not a gesture, but as a statement of belief in our student athletes, our coaches, and the future that we're going to build here together. This university has upward more than 75,000 alums across this country and around the world. So today, I am also asking our alum and supporters to consider a commitment of at least $100 for the next 3 years to this university athletic department. We're talking about 75,000 plus, and we're asking 1 year, 12 months to commit a minimum of $100 to our athletics department. This is simply a show of support and will be able to help us attract top tier talent, support NIL opportunities, compete for championships, and build the internal systems that our student athletes deserve. Together we will reset the standard and we'll build the future. Thank you, and may God continue to bless Florida A&M University and all of Rattler Nation. Thank you.
Thank you for those remarks. Well, the time has come. There is a new leader at the helm of Florida A&M University football. Coach Gray and I go way back to class of, excuse me. And I bet you don't know that I am personally responsible for his career in the NFL. Yes. In fact, he doesn't even know this. Because while we were classmates in school, there was a volleyball game that took place in an apartment complex off campus. And he spiked a volleyball square into my face and I fell flat into the sand. And at that time, I got up when I came to and I said, Quinn, you need to get off of this volleyball court and you need to go to the NFL. And the rest, as they say, is history. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the next head coach of Florida A&M University football, Quinn Fordham Gray Sr.
I promise I won't be long. I won't be, because I'm home, I won't be as politically correct either. This is a dream come true for me, right? There's a lot of acknowledgments that I need to make sure that I get out of the way before we get to the plan. President Marvin Johnson, thank you for your leadership and for believing in me. Board of Trustees, thank you for the approval, the fastest approval in the history of the university. A.D. Davis, thank you for the involvement in your leadership that I know that we'll get from you. Former interim AD, Mike Smith, thank you for your leadership in this. My sister, Angela Suggs, thank you for your leadership in this as well. I also got to thank my former employer, Albany State University, for giving me the platform to show what it is that I love, and that's to guide young men in the game of football. President Marion Frederick believed in me as an assistant coach to give me my first head coaching job. And when it comes down to it, they always tell you to try and leave something better than you found it. And I think we did that. I also have to thank current President Robert Scott, for his belief in me and giving me the opportunity to continue what my leadership looked like at Albany State University. I also have to thank A.D. Kelly for her leadership as the athletic director and allow me to do the things that I saw fit to lead that program to a Division II national championship this past season. I have to thank the most important people in my life, my family. My mother's here. She surprised me today. I didn't think she was coming. My two sons are here, Quinn Jr., Ashton. I know my daughter's probably watching. She had school back in Jacksonville. My wife's family, my 99-year-old grandfather, Mr. George Pittman. A lot of you all might have went to school in Jefferson County. Y'all know who George Pittman is. My mother-in-law, she's here. The rest of the Pittman White family, I appreciate you. My church family from Truth Gatherers. My FAMU family that are here. My pastor, Pastor Davis. I appreciate you being here. But I'd be remiss if I didn't acknowledge the most important person, my wife. It was, we're in 2025, so it was 28 years ago on this campus that I met her. And as her story would go, I followed her to her car. And we're gonna stick with that because that's the absolute truth. I could not take my eyes off her. Everything about her when I got on this campus was everything that I wanted and I needed in my life. Now, we took our separate paths, but God says when if it's meant, it's gonna come back together. I gotta take a moment, if you will, and recognize one of our fallen Rattlers that just passed away yesterday, Terry Buford. Terry Buford is a prolific Rattler that did a lot of things for this university. His unfortunate passing happened on yesterday, so I want to send prayers and condolences to his family at this time. So with that, let's talk about a couple things. As the leader of this program, let me help you understand who I am not. I am not the 19-year-old Quinn Gray that played against Youngstown State over 30 years ago. If you are still living in that decade, shame on you. I am not the Quinn Gray who was getting his first coaching role here in 2010, 2011. I am not that Quinn Gray. I am the Quinn Gray who's a Division II national championship coach who just led a school to 12 wins, the highest wins in a university's history. And I am a leader of men that is going to take this program back to where it wants and needs and always should be, and that's at the top. Not only of HBCU football, but FCS football. You talk about, as you already know, we've started a fundraising campaign called Restoring the Strike. And when it comes down to restoring the strike, it's all about restoring the pride in Florida A&M football. The pride in Florida A&M football resides in me. I stand on the shoulders of William Bell, Jake Gaither, Rudy Hubbard, Ken Riley, my coach, William Billy Joe, and national championship winning Willie Simmons. Those guys set the standard for what it is to be champions at Florida A&M University. And we planned on taking it back to where it's supposed to be, rightfully at the top of HBCU football, not just this year, but forever. Understand when I say restoring the strike, I think we may have lost ourselves a little bit when it comes down to who we really are. I had a meeting with our current players, and one of the things that I asked them about was who is Albert Chester? They don't know that Albert Chester is the person that talks about them weekly on the radio because he does radio for our football program. They didn't know Albert Chester was the first quarterback to beat the only quarterback to beat the University of Miami right across the street in what's now Doak Campbell Stadium. They had no idea that Albert Chester was the first championship winning quarterback here in FAMU history in 1978, winning the first FCS national championship in its existence. So help me understand, or I will help them understand, that they need to be understanding of the pride and the foundation that they stand on. Because if you don't understand the foundation that you stand on, how can you build on it? Understand my core values are all in. You've already heard it. You've already heard it. All in. All in stands for A, attitude. Everything we do, every day you wake up, they understand that their attitude is left up to them. They control their attitude. How you go about your day is up to you. Now, are there factors and things that can come in the way of your day? Absolutely. But it is up to you how you react to them. So you control everything about your attitude, right? As Rattler Nation, we got to have an attitude of giving, right? You got to be all in with this program. I'm not going to wait 2 and 3 years and 4 years down the road to ask you for what I need. I need it now. I need your help now. That building been over there since 1982, right? We can keep putting lipstick on the pig if we want. I'm trying to put some mascara and some blush on it, but it ain't working. I need your help. As A.D. Davis spoke about, the landscape of college football and intercollegiate athletics is changing. These children these young people want to see stuff. They want to have stuff. They want to be able to walk in somewhere and be prideful about what they're walking into. Now, I'm prideful for walking in that building because that's where I grew up. But somebody that's just walking on this campus for the first time, maybe not so much. And we got to make sure that we're giving them anything and everything that they need to be successful. That L stands for the little things. That first L stands for the little things. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. We're going to focus on the little things in this program: academics, community involvement, making sure these kids and these young people understand the history of this university. Yeah, we're going to have guys that come through here in the portal, but if you come through here in the portal, you're going to leave here understanding what FAMU is all about. There's no better degree than the FAMU degree, and you're going to understand that. That second L in all in stands for love. It's probably a little strange for middle-aged black male to stand up here and tell people how much they love them. But our players are going to understand how much we love them. The biggest thing about that is love to me ain't spelled L-O-V-E. Love to me is spelled T-I-M-E, because anything that we say we love, we spend time with. And if you can spend time with it, that means that you're building relationships, you're building trust. And that's what we got to do in this program. We got to have our kids trust us, and we got to trust them, because they ain't in our possession all the time. When they get out here in the community and things like that, we expect excellence with Karen. That I stands for intelligence. Everything we do, we got to be smart about. How we give, how we prepare for opponents, how we attack academics. We got to be smart about anything and everything that we do. And that N stands for now. Why procrastinate in doing something when you can get it done now? Nobody knows what tomorrow holds. Tomorrow ain't promised to us. So get done now what you can get done. And if tomorrow comes, then we have an opportunity to do some other things. All in is just that. You got to be all in. Rattler Nation, I need you all in. And I'm not talking about next year, the year after. I'm not talking about, hey, let's wait to see how it goes, because it's going to go good. It's going to go good. I need your trust and belief that we're going to bring the pride back to Rattler football that it once had. I will never bash anybody, any form of coach or anything like that. But where we are, we got to step up and take a different approach. We have to take these young men to a place that they can't take themselves. And it's going to take the help of Rattler Nation. I got a coaching staff coming in here that we'll all be proud of. We got over 125 years of coaching experience collectively. I want to say something, but I can't yet, right? But at the end of the day, you'll take pride in this staff, as I do, because we're putting people around these young men that take pride in their mentorship. They take pride in their character, and then they take pride in the product that we're going to put on the football field. You got situations where you got APR. APR ain't going nowhere. So we got to bring better student athletes in here that want to get a degree. If you're all about money, you're all about NIL, this may not be the place for you, because the money that we give you, the NIL that we give you, is the opportunities to get the best education in the world. Now, while I say that, let's be smart about it, because it's a part of what it is with intercollegiate athletics, and we need it, right? My former Rattlers, open door. I need you to come back, because I need the guys that are here now to understand what came before them. Every Friday before our home games, we'll have a legacy walk. I want you to be a part of it, where we join arms and walk 100 yards and understand the vision that it takes to be successful each and every Saturday. It ain't just my vision, it's their vision as well, because if they can't see themselves doing it, they'll never get it done. So all my Rattlers, my former Rattlers, teammates, guys that came before me, guys that came after me, I need you back so they can understand the pride that we took in this thing, so they'll understand what it looks like. The Restoring the Strike fundraising campaign is something that is going to help us take this program to another level. As I know, I'm a Rattler, and I'm in some of the Facebook groups and all that good stuff, and people want to know where their money's going. I get it. It's going to a good cause. It's going to these young people. It's going in a place that's going to get us where we need to go. If you need particulars, give me a check and I'll give it to you. I promise you. But at the end of the day, if you donate to us, I promise that money will be used for a good cause. We need a better practice facility. We need lights out there. Bragg Stadium is a place that we should play our games and our games only. We shouldn't be practicing in there. We shouldn't be practicing in there. It's a privilege to play in Bragg Stadium. You got to earn the right to walk on that carpet. That practice field ain't out there for no reason. The practice field is just that. That's where you earn your keep. And when you earn your keep, that's when you earn the right to step foot on Bragg Stadium, Ken Riley Field. And if you don't do that, you won't never step on it. Not in that orange and green, because I take pride in that. I earned that. There's a lot of Rattlers earn that. So understand the pride that I have in coming back home. Understand what this means to me. I know that y'all are excited. I know ain't nobody more excited than me, except my wife, because I'm home. I get a chance to not have to drive an hour and a half to get my hair cut every Thursday. I can drive 4 minutes. I don't have to drive an hour and 45 minutes to get to my front door. I can drive 12 minutes. I don't have to drive an hour and 50 minutes to come hang out with my partners sometimes here. I can drive all over Tallahassee. I ain't got to drive an hour and 45 minutes to come see my pastor, because I know he'll come to me. But I can drive 20 minutes to go to church. I'm happy to be home. I'm excited where we're going. I just want to take a quick minute to recognize some of my colleagues that are in the building. Coach Charlie Ward. I wear 17 because of Doug Williams and Charlie Ward. I'm sorry, I wore 17 because of Doug Williams and Charlie Ward. So it's an honor and a privilege to work with you, brother. Coach Shute set the standard for championships. Coach Bill, although new, you're setting the standard, you and your staff. Thank you. Coach Gordon, although new, we're going to get it going. And it started yesterday with that win against Grambling. Coach Rice, national championship golf. Setting the standard. Coach Gokon, what can I say? Set the standard. Coach Barnes, cheerleading, champion. And then my good friend, Coach Nikki Houston, my motorcycle riding partner, championship tennis coach, and a good friend of mine. Coach Williams, looking forward to working with each and every one of you and taking this athletics department where it needs to go with A.D. Davis. And then I look forward to working with Dr. Randolph, our faculty athletic rep, because we got to get this thing going in the right direction from an APR situation. Our young people don't value education as they should. And if they're going to be a FAMU Rattler, they're going to value education as they should. And I'd be remiss before I sit down if it is an honor and a privilege to be standing in between the marching 100s, drum majors. I've never had the opportunity to do that. So I also got to recognize Dr. Shelby Chipman of the incomparable Marching 100, a good friend of mine. There's so many people that I see in the audience that are familiar faces. I thank you for being here. I thank you in advance for your support. I thank you in advance for where this thing is going and where you're going to help me take this thing. And I'm sorry, it ain't just me. Where you're going to help us take this program and get us back to. I'm excited. I'm going to get away from here because we got recruits in town and we got to get back to work. So I thank you for being here. I love you. You're going to see the love in how we play football around here. You're going to see the love in how we represent this university in and around the community. So please, please support us. Thank you, and I look forward to bringing the championship back to Tallahassee. And then I gotta Coach Ellenwood, I'm sorry, track. Recognize. All right, thank you. And I look forward to being home and getting this thing going. Let's go, Rattlers.
Well, I'm back again. Coach Gray just set an example there, and I was so excited to get up here. And I've got to take this opportunity just to thank all my my supporters, my family, and folks that drove into town. And he was talking about his pastor. Now, I'm not going to let him out pastor me. I got my pastor here also from Orlando, Pastor Leonard. My college roommates, as well as other individuals from the Florida Lottery and others that are here. I just want to just thank you all for being here as well. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
I don't know about you, but I'm excited. It is going to be an amazing 2026. And at this time, we are going to take a few moments to have a media press conference opportunity where our professional and student press are going to ask some questions. So at this time, I'm going to ask Dennis Driscoll, our sports information director, to grab the microphone. We will take questions from our professional and student press at this time. Let's start, please, if you don't mind, with any and all questions for AD Davis, and then we will take questions for Coach Gray.
Okay, who would like to go first? Jeremy. Please state your name and read out the first question.
I'm Olympius Cheney, ABC 27. And my question for you is around NIL. So as the NIL landscape is constantly changing with rules and developments, how does FAMU make sure they stay at the forefront of dominating college athletics going forward?
as mentioned earlier, first and foremost, it's very important to make sure that we're committed to creating an NIL ecosystem, which we are. That's something that's one of the first things that President Johnson sent to me and mentioned to me is we have got to create an NIL ecosystem. I have the pleasure and to be able to have spent the past couple of years behind the scenes working with a good friend of mine, Derek Brooks, who's now the Chief Operating Officer for Athletics at University of South Florida, on this very topic about NIL and the fact that we think it's right now it's pretty much a runaway train, and there's got to be some parameters around it. I've had a chance to speak with Coach Gray as well as others, and this institution, in speaking with the leadership, we are committed, and I can assure you that it is a part of the plan that we have. Over the next 150 days, we'll begin to put pieces in place to create and establish NIL ecosystem here at FAMU. And we do recognize how important it is to make sure that we're not a P4. It's not just going to be about money for us. And I think Coach Gray summarized it best. It's going to be about making sure these students have what they need, but education is going to be at the forefront.
Elijah Lott with WA&M Sports. In addition to your in-depth assessment, what will be your approach for overseeing and maintaining the excellence of our programs like volleyball, golf, and tennis while restoring the glory of our football and basketball team?
I have the pleasure and the honor to be able to serve as the vice president and the director of athletics of this entire department. And I recognize as a former student athlete, it's not just about football and it's not just about basketball. Again, within conversations that I've had with the president as well as others that are part of this administration, every single sport at this school is equally as important as football and basketball. And we will make sure that that is a commitment that we have, as long as I would allow it to be here by this president, to be able to make sure that we're uplifting this entire department and not just one or two sports in particular.
All right, A.D. Davis, I think that's all for you.
Thank you.
Coach Gray.
All he get is 2 questions? Yeah. He the AD.
Coach Jalen Scott, WA&M Sports.
Good to meet you, Jalen.
Nice to meet you well. Our recipe for success here at FAMU seems to win the trust of the alumni. Your resume speaks to that. But what can you assure to the current student body and fans who may be unfamiliar with you about this year's season?
Well, those that aren't familiar, the great thing about this day and age is Google. Although, that's a joke. I have no issues with walking around this campus meeting people because I'm home. This FAMU's campus is an open campus. They'll see me around campus. I was in the bookstore area yesterday. I was in the cafeteria yesterday. So I'm not going to be one that sits behind a desk and not be involved in student activities. So this is be out day, all that good stuff. I'm a part of it. Set Friday, I'm ready. Fried chicken Wednesday, catfish Friday. What I can promise is the product that we're going to put on the field, they're going to be proud of. The biggest thing that I was embarrassed about this past year, if I can be frank, was the booing of our student athletes during homecoming. That is unspeakable. So to me, I have to put together a staff that's going to make sure these people are putting their best foot forward each and every week for this university. So we don't have opportunities like that. Our student athletes are going to be able to take pride in this program because they're going to be part of it as well. One of the biggest things that our students may not have experience with, and I'm going to talk to President Johnson and A.D. Davis about. There was one thing when I played ball here that I just have to restore. And we're talking about restoring the strike. I need my cannon back. I need my cannon back. The ROTC, I know they're getting the facelift right across the street, but at the end of the day, I need my cannon back. Because if we do what we plan on doing, it's going to be a lot of jumpiness in the stadium this upcoming year. All right, so I need that.
Hey, good afternoon, Coach. Gerald Thomas from the Tallahassee Democrat.
Good to meet you, Gerald.
Yes, sir.
Again.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Nice to meet you, man. Well, nice to see you again. Coach, coming here at FAMU, like I said, you're back at home, but I've noticed a trend with the FCS HBCUs. They're going and getting Division II coaches to bring them up, and they've been successful. Just had 2 former Division II coaches in the Celebration Bowl, which ended up being one of the best ones in the game's 10-year history.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about taking on that challenge. Also talk about what brand of football y'all are going to play. Should we expect to see that Gulf Coast offense come back?
Smart, fast, physical football is the brand that you'll see. We're going to be smart about how we do things. We're going to bring fast guys to make sure that we're outrunning people. We're in the state of Florida. We got the fastest athletes in the country. So we got to take care of home. The Big Ben is ours. We can't allow Mississippi Valley to keep coming here taking our kids, right? Especially if they're good enough to play here. We got to make sure we're doing what we got to do to keep our kids in state. To the Gulf Coast offense and Coach Billy Joe, what we did back then was, we did some things, right? But the day and age of football has changed a little bit. My mindset in terms of how we approach the offensive side of the ball, the timing and how we tempo things won't change, but how we approach and attack people has sort of kind of changed. Because I again, as I don't know if you heard me, but I'm not the same coach I was 12 years ago. And when you're in this business, if you don't grow, you don't have no business being in this business. So over these last 12 years, my ability to learn and sit back and watch and understand and be able to soak in what it truly means to be a head coach and to be able to call plays and put people in great situations, because it's about putting your kids in great situations. And if we can do that, then I like us all day long. Smart, fast, physical football is what the brand that we'll bring.
Good afternoon, Coach. Lindsay Cheney, ABC 27. My question for you is a little more about the Restore the Strike fundraising campaign. Can you share with us what the goals are and what those milestones look like for you personally as well as the organization?
Well, first and foremost, let me acknowledge my brother Marvin Green. Where you at, Marvin? My brother Marvin Green, who's heading that fundraiser. What I will say over the last 2 weeks, it's been tremendous, right? We've raised over $80,000 already in 2 weeks in the Restore the Strike campaign. Now, Mr. Davis brought to our attention the 75,000. I want to say it's closer to 80,000 in terms of our living alumni. And from what I'm gathering, and this ain't just a FAMU problem, it's an HBCU problem, right? There's less than 1% given back to these HBCUs that has given so much to us. So we got to be able to do the things that we need to do to help our HBCUs become the schools and the universities that they need to be. For me, this campaign helps us bring, just to be quite frank, it brings things to the program for our student athletes to help them develop as football players, from nutrition to enhancements on the practice fields to enhancements in the building in Gallimore Powell Fieldhouse. So this allows us to put our student athletes in the best situation to be successful. Now, going on a day and age where you give out playbooks that you got to open and flip pages. iPads are the thing, right? Our student athletes don't have iPads. We're looking forward to buying iPads for our guys so that they'll be caught up with modern technology, right? It ain't nothing for them to pull out their phone. You see people on their phones right now, which is fine because they probably taking pictures. But at the end of the day, modern technology is AI is real, right? So we got to understand where we're going as a culture, where we're going as a school, and then just make sure that we're putting our student athletes in the best position to be successful.
Nice to meet you, Coach.
What's your name?
Elijah Lott, WA&M Sports.
Good to meet you, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You touched a bit on the transfer portal a little earlier. A big reason for our lack of success over the last 2 seasons has been players leaving for the transfer portal. What's your mindset towards player retention? And what's going to be the message to keep guys here to rebuild the championship culture that you spoke on earlier?
Well, Not sure if you've been on social media the last couple of days, but we're retaining them. We're bringing our good players back. Yeah, have we lost a couple? Yeah, absolutely, because the money is real. That some of these bigger universities are offering is real. But for me, we've retained our two best defensive linemen, in our opinion. We've returned one of our best running backs in Haley. We've returned one of our up-and-coming wide receivers in Burris. So for us, you know, it's about making sure they understand the vision. And when we had our first team meeting, I think probably the next morning, 5 or 6 of them came up out of the portal because they believe in what we're trying to do. And when it comes down to restoring the strike, we're going to need good players to do that. When it comes down to we got to be strategic when it comes down to the portal because, like I told you before, APR is real. You can't have guys that come here. Yeah, they want to play football. They want to do what they can. But we got to have people that have the mindset of being great people as well. I feel like if we develop these young men as people, they'll be the best football players they can possibly be because we're developing more than just football players. So we got to understand when we're out here bringing guys from the portal, they got to want to graduate from here. Guys with 1 year left, they got 90+ credits. There's an opportunity for you to graduate from this prestigious university with this degree and go anywhere in the world and be successful. It's proven. I'm living proof. My wife is living proof. Almost everybody in this room is living proof of obtaining a FAMU degree and going on and being able to take care of your families. So with that, we're going to be very strategic about how we attack the portal, but most importantly, we're going to be very strategic about the high school kids we bring in, because that's the most important, the development of those high school kids that are losing opportunities because of the portal. We're going to be very busy with high school kids because those kids are going to understand now. In 2 years, will the big schools come offer them $300,000? Probably so. But at the end of the day, after those 2 years, we probably don't want 2 or 3, hopefully 2 national championships. And at that point, they can go on and do what they need to do on that level. But at the end of the day, we're going to recruit. And let me just be clear about recruiting as well. I got to be clear to my people, my FAMUans, my people that know me, my people that know people that I know, that send messages through people, that text my mama, we are going to do our best in bringing the best student athletes on this campus. What I will say is we're going to try our best to communicate with everybody. Y'all can imagine over this last week or so, I don't know if my phone has enough charge to handle the stuff that's been coming through. And I love it. But what we have to understand is we can't take everybody. And I want you to understand there's no disrespect to you or no disrespect to that kid, but we're looking for the best to bring in here. And if they may not add up to what it is that we're absolutely looking for, first of all, you got to be able to get in school here. That's first and foremost. That 3.3 and that 1100 ain't going nowhere. Okay? So while we want the best football players that we could possibly get, we also got to have student athletes that are very, very in tune with their academics. And those are the guys that we're going to give priority to because that's the standard, right? We want guys that's coming here to graduate. We don't want guys just coming here to play football because that ain't what it's all about. Okay, so we're going to handle this thing the right way.
That concludes the Q&A.
Hey, Allison. Good. Absolutely.
Thank you so much. As we get ready to close, you've heard from AD Davis, you've heard from Coach Quinn. If you're all in, we need your support. It takes a village. They can't do it on their own. So at this time, we're going to conclude today's press conference. We look excitedly towards you guys participating in all of our sports this season. And if you would be so kind as to stay off the floor while we make some arrangements to take group photos. After we are done with the photos, you will have an opportunity to engage with our dais. We thank you so much. God bless, and thank you for coming.
I got to do one thing before we get started breaking this down. I got to do one thing before we start breaking this thing down, because very exciting press conference. But hold on, we just got to do one thing. We just got to do one thing. This is just from a Rattlers that's in the building. We got to do this right here. 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 We ready now. Y'all saw the colors. We're not playing around. We're talking about the band. You know what this is? We are not playing around with folks. We're gonna just let this ride out for a second. So y'all understand that it was new football coaching town. It just wasn't just falling out. It was going to 100. See, this is what they should have played after this coach out. I'm gonna help coach out. This is what we should have played right here. They ain't doing that on the game day. This FAMU Friday today on off script and HBCU Coaches Corner. We just gonna let this ride out so y'all understand tradition, history, agile, mobile, hostile, restore the strike, bringing in players that want to be Rattlers than football players. There's a difference. Come on, man. Listen, y'all know what it is. We need them. Listen, you know, hey, listen, Martin, listen. 2025, oh, bro, we let this develop. You heard what the coach said. Now you're not coming back down here no more. We just gotta let this ride out. Then we'll talk a little bit about what we saw. It's a new year, a new day. Now, so listen, y'all. So here's the thing. And y'all know how I move. Appreciate it. But now, Rattlers, I'm going to drop this in this link. And listen, it ain't about how much you give. It's about something that you give. So I need y'all to click that link. Give a little bit of something to FAMU. Share this with your people. Because, man, listen, let me tell y'all something. I've been around a long time. Seen a lot of coaches all over the place, PWI, HBCU high school. That's what you want your coach to look like right there. That's what you want your coach to say. That's somebody who understands the difference between being a Rattler and being a football player. And I'm going to tell you one thing I like about it. He did not dodge the problems that we got. See, only true leaders understand, accept, and acknowledge the problems. Say, man, listen, APR, we got to get people here who want to graduate. We got to get kids in here that understand that this ain't no waste stop. That's the thing that we needed right there. The whole thing. And you know what? Listen, I'm going to say this. We got a new AD. AD Davis. I give AD Davis credit. Put your money where your mouth is. He said, hey, man, I got $10,000 I'm dropping right now. You know what? Let's go. Let's go. So guess what? I'm telling you what, me and my classmates, hey, we gonna match it, bro. Because I know them 88 folks gonna give money. Shout out to my classmate Marvin Green, who was just bringing in that money. Man, we some bad mofos from that 88. That FAMU freshman class 88. So you know what? I like the fact that people acknowledge and everybody's in alignment. You know what? Listen, President Johnson, Marvin Johnson, listen, had a little suit on, ready to go. I think, once again, it's not how you start. Sometimes it's how you finish. And sometimes you got to listen to people. And what I'm seeing is that she's listening to the right people. And I hope that, again, keeps translating for the overall university. Because like I say, man, listen, how people get there, who they are and all that, I'm not about to talk about that. I don't care about that. What I care about the success of Florida A&M University and this football team and these athletics. That's all that's got to count. And listen, let me tell you something. He ain't playing in that recruiting portal. It's a whole bunch of people. So listen, you got to talk about this coaching staff. Let's start with Angela Suggs and President Johnson knowing that he needed to be able to go get the best coaches. We got a $1.4 million coaching pool. Southern had $950,000. That was a lot of money for Marshall Faulk. FAMU said, no, we got to go. Guess what? Got one of the best DCs in HBCU football history in Ryan Lewis. You know what that means. Dark clouds coming back over Bragg Stadium. Because there's no way that we should allow anybody to score 40 points in Bragg Stadium ever again. Ryan Lewis going to make sure of that. Scoring over 21 points. Hey, man, listen. Coach Quinn know about that Gulf Coast offense. That's 40 points a game right there, folks. That's 40 points a game right there. So the whole energy has shifted. The whole energy has shifted. And, man, listen, I'll tell y'all something about Coach. Was that boy not dead sharp? That boy is like dead sharp. That's what I'm talking about. And like I said, I'm not going to say no names because we're not here to talk about other people, but I'm going to talk about presentation. If you want people to believe in you, sometimes you got to look the part. He didn't come like he just came from the barbershop. He understood that he was talking to a national audience. And he had enough respect to know, you know what? I'm going to put on my best so people understand that I'm about serious business. That's why Coach is going to get money. That's why Coach is going to get money. He didn't come in there and say, oh, you know what? Let me just put on a FAMU jersey and just kind of walk in here. Because he showed the respect to the new Rattlers, the old Rattlers, and Rattlers have gone past. That's really what you want. That is really what you want, man. The thing about this, man, and what you like, hey, man, listen, I like Marshall Faulk, what he's doing down in Southern. I'm following it. I know a lot of people down in Southern. They making moves. Jackson State is Jackson State. Coach Eddie Robb said, hey, Andrew Body, you ain't gone just yet. They making moves. Sam Shea, my guy, Alabama A&M. A certain person we know might be working at Alabama A&M now. They making moves. We already know what my big guy, man. Y'all know T-Jack, my guy. T-Jack said, hey, man, listen, we playing a schedule, and we trying to be FCS great down in Prairie View. SWAC champions, Grambling. All of these things that you see is going to make the conference better. And what I'm hoping, again, is what a lot of these players in the portal are realizing, and high school kids. Man, if you come to one of our MEAC schools, SWAC school, Tennessee State, North Carolina A&T, let's bring those great players back. See, man, when I grew up, man, I saw Jerry Rice play. Michael Strahan, Aeneas Williams, Steve Air McNair. One of the best players, Doug Williams, the best players played at our school in those states from Louisiana all the way to Florida. He said it. We beat University of Miami. You know who the U was before Miami? FAMU. If you watched that game last night between FAMU and Ole Miss, you know all that was, right? That was Jackson State and FAMU back in the day. That shows you how great we were and how we need to be. So those are the things that I want to see. So, you know, he talked about some of the coaches I know. Hey, man, just resetting this. Mr. Campbell, HBCU Coaches Corner, off script in the house, man. Just had a great press conference with Coach Quinn Gray, man, setting all the right tones down there in Tallahassee, Florida, in the arena. But wanted to sit back and say, hey, man, listen, that coaching pool, you know who we got? Clinton Portis over there at Delaware State that helped lead Delaware State in rushing from the U. Understands Florida, got connections. So guess where you came? Had to come to the number one public HBCU. You know who we got for defense? Ryan Lewis, who when he was the defensive coordinator at Alabama State, led the SWAC, the FCS, and all different categories of defense. Ron Dugas coming from FSU, wide receiver coach, going to help those guys catch the ball. Billy Roll, I heard, is coming back. Hey, man, you got to have a godfather in the house. SWAC Hall of Famer. FAMU Hall of Famer. Got to have him in the house with all those connections. This is what FAMU looks like. These is FAMU people elevating. This is what we want. You know, man, everybody, you know, made jokes and stuff like that, man. You have other channels. Ha, ha, ha. FAMU lost the Valley and all that. I can't tell you what. You won't be laughing next year. I ain't seen none of these people on social media. They ain't talking about this higher now. Because other things in the past was a joke. They ain't laughing now, are they? They know the difference. They see a real man stand up there about to lead men. And I tell you what, those players that want to be Rattlers will be Rattlers. And those players that don't, they won't be on the team. That's the thing about it. That's the difference. And that's what I like about what Coach is doing. You know, man, so I'm going to drop, hey, man, listen, we got a little bit, you know, on a Friday. If you want to come up, talk about what you saw in the press conference, come on up, man. I'm going to be here I'm going to hang out for y'all about 30 minutes, you know, talk about it and stuff like that. But one of the things that, again, I liked about the press conference, and again, it's a challenge to the alumni, challenge to the students. Hey, man, he said, listen, hey, students, can't have y'all boo my team no more. But I'm going to make sure the team is not in a position where you want to boo. That's a challenge on both sides. We're going to play better, but I'm going to expect you to be better. I'm going to expect you to be in those stands. 80,000 alums all over the country. JD said, man, just drop $100. Let's drop $100. Let's get this going. Get this $8 million. Restore the strike. Coach Quinn Gray said, hey, man, you know what we need? But I tell you what, we need that cannon, though, because we about to score a whole lot of points. Getting back to things that make what brag was brag. You know what? Marching 100. Got their mojo back. It's kind of rough for Marching 100. You know, first coming to SWAC, had to understand it's different than the MEAC. Marching 100 say, hey, man, listen, we ready to fight. They about to get on the road. They about to know where they got to go. Alabama State, Jackson State, Grambling, Southern. Hey, man, you got to get on Alabama A&M. Man, you got to get on the road. Support the team. Talked to Shelby Chipman. I saw him in Atlanta when Charlie Ward and them played Georgia Tech. I said, hey, Coach, if you don't go nowhere else every year, because we played him earlier, you got to be in Jackson. You got to be at Southern. Point blank, period. He looked at me and said, oh, we're going to be there. It's a new thing, new energy, man. This is what's really, really important, what you see. And, man, what's really good, man, this makes the conference better. You got to have a good FAMU, a good Jackson State, a good Grambling, a good Southern, Alabama State, Prairie View, Texas Southern, Alabama A&M, Bethune-Cookman. I don't think people understand, man. Bethune-Cookman, man, listen. Before they joined the SWAC, they was on a 15-game win streak against the SWAC. Now they trying to get this stuff going. You know, understanding, and I like what he said. Hey, do you guys know who Albert Chester is? You know, a lot of kids, you know, don't know that. Hey, man, that's a Hall of Fame FAMU that's calling your games. I don't like when we don't acknowledge our greatness. Because I tell you what, if you go to Texas, you're going to know everybody from Texas. You go to Auburn, you're going to know about Bo Jackson, Pat Sullivan, all those guys. Alabama, you're going to know all those guys. We should let up, because, you know, that's that spirit. When you look up and say, hey, man, listen, greats came through here, Bullet Bob Hayes, winning big game, that spirit is in that stadium. That spirit is in that stadium. So those kids, I don't want kids to not know the greatness of their school that they play for, because you should want your name to be great. You shouldn't want to be, I'm just coming to FAMU just to be a FAMU. You should want to be a legend. You should want to be a legend when you come to any of these schools. Man, you go to Grambling and you don't understand the greatness of Grambling. You go to Jackson State, you don't understand who Walter Payton is, man. Come on, what? What you think? You know what? And go a little bit. Why you think Michael Irvin and Ray Lewis and all them guys on the sidelines for Miami? Because you know what they said? This right here, this means something. They tell them young guys, let me tell you something. These games, oh, we won those games. And them young guys, they wasn't even born when Michael Irvin was playing at Miami. Ray Lewis, the Blaze brothers. Barely saw Ed Reed in them, because that was 25 years ago. And that crew, Jonathan Billman and them boys. But you know what, though? It's about the mentality. Y'all got to understand, some FAMU was Miami before Miami. So it's the same thing. It's FAMU. So I want them kids to understand the same thing. Hey, man, listen, we were the first HBCU national champions. We just won a national championship a few years ago. We had them win the streak down at Bragg. I need you to start that winning streak again. Don't let nobody come in and talk about they can score 40 and breaking streaks and laughing. That means something. That means something. And you start new traditions. You look at Indiana, they start a new tradition. They say, hey, we ain't the old Indiana anymore. Ole Miss. We ain't the old Miss no more. Oregon trying to break through. All these things mean something. All these things mean something. So for us that are FAMU fans, that are fans of HBCU football, this was a great day. This was a great day, man. I was super excited, to see, the whole press conference. And it was raining, like I say, the music. I'm like, y'all, man, like, what was that? Fight for whatever they like public. I'm like, come on. They kind of missed on that one. That would have been A+. You got to, play that, hey, let's go. And see, it's the thing about it. They don't know, but they need to know. And that's what Quinn Gray's going to let them know. I like what he said. Former football players. We about to do a walk every Friday. Walk with these guys. Because you instill that Rattler greatness with them. When Jack State comes and those guys, those Hall of Famers, Rob Brazil, wear their jackets and stuff, that means something, man. That means something. You say you miss Scotty? Hey, listen, he's on the other day. He'll be back. He'll be back. I'm going to try to hold it down. Hopefully, I can entertain you enough. We hold it down. That's funny. But like I say, yeah. Yo, there it is. Mama said, knock you out. Thank you. Well, I was like, yeah, what did they play? Is that what they played? Mama said, knock you out. Yeah. Yeah. LL Cool J. Yeah, that missed. That missed like a bad 3-pointer and everything. Listen, man, shout out to Zoe Phillips, man. What up, nephew? What is it, little brother? Hey, man, listen. Everybody got a different taste, man. Listen, I'm just here to, hold it down. Man, listen, man, I'm just going to tell you this, and I'm just going to address this one time. Scott is on to some new endeavors. I'm happy for my son. He's got to make some moves for him, for his family. Y'all, if you want to know what he's doing, go Google it, because people already put it out there, and I'm happy for him. But you know what that also means? That hanging around HBCUs is probably a good idea. So if people don't like what he's doing, y'all ain't got to worry about that. Ain't affecting your job. But I'm happy for him. So we're going to hold the channel down. We're going to be doing things, stuff like that. Hey, Perry White ain't going nowhere, man. Outspoken. We're going to do something for him outspoken. Man, you got to keep outspoken going. Perry White is too great not to have Perry White, man, during the football season. You already know that. HBCU Coaches Corner going to be here. Man, me and Mike Reed, man, come on, man. What? The breakdown, man, we going to figure something out. But anyway, back to the football. Back to the football. You see a lot of people excited. And this is what the thing about is when you got a coach that everybody believes in. And not only that, see, this is a difference too, man. Listen, and I'm going to go here just for the last football hire just didn't go the way it should have went. There was a lot of things going on, all those different things, everything. But this is one thing about when you have, again, we talk about that alignment. People that announce, hey, listen, special assistant to the president, AD Sub, man, y'all thought she was dead. You saw she rose from the dead. Putting together a process for AD Johnson, because he wasn't the only coach that they looked at, but finding that Quinn Gray was the best coach for FAMU. Then President Johnson saying, you know what, let's put our money where our mouth is at. Let's make sure we have the ability to do NIL, to do rev share, to make sure we got coaches that we can pay for. That's alignment. Mike Smith holding it down. Got a new AD. New AD say, hey, man, listen, we about to fix some things. That's right. We got to fix some things. So that's the thing about it, what you like. And, man, listen, let's go back, man. Y'all remember that guy? Kind of bold, bravado down there in Prairie View, saying that we here to win and go to Celebration Bowl. Y'all saw what happened. The Prairie View got an alignment from their AD to their president to the coach to the players. Did something nobody ever thought they would do. And listen up, SWAC champions. And now they're building. I see the same thing for FAMU. I see the same thing, fam. I'm gonna tell you this. He said that 20. We get kind of nervous when we hear these plans with these numbers on. I was like, man, we might need to call this something else. When he said whatever that was, strategic 20, I was like, man, because Project 2025 didn't work out too fucking good for. I got kind of nervous on that. You know, but just teasing on that. But the point of it is, there's a plan that they've set down and said, what can we do? Because listen, man, everybody know that hashtag FAMU foolishness. Yeah, Vision 2030. Kind of got nervous on that, boy. Them cold words. But we're trying to end the FAMU fool. Hey, you know what? Listen, man, this is what I'm talking about. My boy from the 313, Al from Detroit. What you got, Al? You seen the press
What's
conference,
going
man.
on?
What talk to me, man? What you see and what you like about it?
Oh, man. Everything good, Mr. Campbell. Hey, listen. I think it was a great hire, man. I think it was a great hire, but I want people to realize, man, you got to support your own. At the end of the day, always got to be about you supporting your own.
Yeah.
You hear me, Coach Campbell?
Yeah. No, well, listen, man, this is the whole thing about it. When you say support your own, I don't want to hear anybody. This is the lie I don't like. And this is a challenge. Well, we broke. Man, you ain't broke. Y'all driving big houses, got business, making big money jobs. You come back to homecoming, talking about you buying out the bar. Man, I don't want to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
A.D. Davis said, man, what's up with $100? And y'all got more than $100. So, man, we got to stop this woe is me and everything. And listen, and you know me, I'm a big proponent. The states owe us billions of dollars. Oh, we still need to fight for that money. But what I'm not going to do is let the state of Florida stop me from being great. I don't want the state of Mississippi to stop Jack State, Alcorn, and Valley from being great. I don't want the state of Louisiana to stop Southern and Grambling from being great. I don't want North Carolina to stop North Carolina A&T from being great. Because you know what? No matter what, we've been in 100 years, and we don't face a whole lot worse from a whole lot better. So
I
that's
tell you this.
Go ahead.
I wanted to bring this up to you, Mr. Campbell. I don't think people realize, man, just the way he came in and how everybody felt. And I told you before, when your president went down there and they lost at the Classic against Bethune, then she went down to Mississippi Valley and took the loss. I think she realized this ain't what she signed up for. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I know how people get there, but I could tell, man, just her whole demeanor, man, just didn't look good. Especially at that Classic, man. Because, people would say, well, we win. And then, like I told you, the previous regime, I don't have anything against Cozy. Right. I just don't think he was ready for the game, man.
Right.
I really don't think he was ready. And I think the people at B, who was in charge said, look, we got to go in a different direction. And think about the landscape. That thing that happened down there in Prairie View.
Yeah.
Listen, PV, I don't think people realize that put a lot of people on notice that, man, I shouldn't be waiting 2 or 3 years for my coach to make that move. We should be looking to make a move now. If he's who he say he is, and that he can coach people up, and that he can put people in a position, I shouldn't be waiting. And I'll be honest with you, the Alabama A&M, they got to get that together, because I thought Sam Shade would do a lot better. I understand he kind of didn't want to ruffle feathers, but he need to make a move next year.
Right.
And I also want you
to Al. Hey, Trey and Dr. Robert Butler, y'all hang on. I'm gonna bring you guys up as soon as I finish with Al. Hey man, join the discussion. Go ahead, Al. Finish up.
As I get out, man. Again, man, I think FAMU did a great job bringing in Quinn Gray, and you could I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot different. And I want people to realize, I know you got to have a particular grade point average, you got to have a certain test score, but if kids truly want to be a part of the program, they're going to do what they got to do to get to that program.
Man, listen, bro, listen, these kids now, I came back in the old days, Prop 48. Man, these kids got grades now. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This ain't the old days. These kids, like I say, Armand Parker coming in from Atlanta, man, that boy got like a 3.5, man. These kids got the grades. And even the kids in the portal. The point of it is, like you said, we just got to recruit the right kids. That's what it is.
Think about this before I get out. Okay. If you look at PV, man, I don't know if y'all be looking at Tremaine Jackson and the way he do business. I think you got a guy similar to that with Quinn Gray, that he's going to be about doing his business. He's going to research these players, figure out, because guess what? This is an opportunity for everybody. but you
Right.
got to make the most of it. And I'll leave it at that. You be good, Mr. Campbell.
Hey, man, appreciate you, Al. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Oh, what's up, Mr. Butler? How you doing there? You doing all right? Mr. Butler, Dr. Butler, we got you online. Can you hear us? Mr. Butler, can you hear us? Hey, Mr. Butler, can you hear us?
You're muted.
No, I'm not
Can
muted.
you hear me?
We can hear you. Yes.
You can?
Yes,
I
sir.
can't hear you though.
You got to, okay. So,
Okay. What I wanted to tell you about in the early 2000s when I come to Tallahassee, I met a group of gentlemen who had made the leadership hall and everything in athletics. One of the pitchers played for a team called Dennis Jefferson. He was a big coach. And what he did, we put together a group called the Historical Black Athletes Association, and we recognized all of the athletes in different parts of the athletical field. And we gave the family and them a free banquet and a free program, and also awarded the family certificates of what they had done to show them that we did care about them, because they couldn't get these things during the Jim Crow era during that time in the early years and all. And we set that forth, and that's why I admire what you're doing, because people need to be remembered that we in FAMU in this area have great athletes that made great achievements and achieved great skills in life that other people would be glad to be a part of. That's why I was glad to hear the AD and the coach talk the way that they were talking. They were more about the people instead of about themselves. They're more about the programs instead of about themselves. They're more about the school instead of about themselves. And to let them know that they are family men. We're married. We got children. They had the family there, the church there, everybody there for that moral support. And that's today is a great day for family, because I've been looking for this. I'm not alone. I graduated from the University of Phoenix, okay?
okay.
Got a
Yes,
master's
okay.
degree, but my
Yes.
wife's an alumni at
Yep.
FAMU. So I'm a FAMU and also, and I have children graduating from FAMU, so that put me in the divide. But I'm glad to see this today, though, Mr. Campbell. You're doing a great job too, my brother. And stay
Hey,
blessed and keep doing what you're doing, all
hey,
right?
man, listen, man, happy 2026 to you, man. Listen, man, it don't matter. Listen, man, it don't matter where you at, man. We all part of the same family. You know what I mean? That's all. If long as we support it, don't matter. Because listen, man, I
All
got
right.
family that ain't never seen no parts of Jack State but love Jack State. So, man, thank you, Mr. Buck. Appreciate you. Talk to you later. Brother Trey, what's going on? Talk to me.
Hey, what's up, Mr. Campbell? Can you hear me?
I can hear you great, man. I can hear you great. Happy
Oh
2026
man,
too.
happy 2026, man. Oh man, we just jumping for joy here in Charleston. My Lauderdale legend has come home to be the football coach at FAMU. Very happy. I want to thank Ms. Marva for doing what needed to be done
Yep.
and really putting her foot down. And a lot of people don't like her and still a little iffy, but
Yep.
She's definitely done some things that's definitely leading us, in at least in athletics, in the right
Right.
direction. And I love hearing everything the AD said also. So I feel like we're going in a strong direction. I've already donated over $300, and I'm gonna continue to
Yes, sir.
donate. But I'm just happy now, because last year was tough. There was some games I was planning to taking off this year.
Right.
My OBC trip maybe wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Some things like that. Going to Alabama State probably wasn't gonna happen. So it's good. I was sick of seeing other students Kodak bopping in Bragg Stadium after scoring 40 points.
Right.
So I believe in Coach Gray. I actually met him a long time ago. I went to his dad's funeral. His dad's
Okay.
a big time coach
Yeah. Yeah.
down in
He
South
is.
Florida at Dilla High
Yes, he
School.
is.
So
Legend. A legend.
legend. There you go. And that's what Quinn Gray is going to be, a legend over on the hill, on the highest of Seven Hills. But I just wanted to say that, I want to thank Ms. Marvel, like I said, the AD, Coach Gray is going to do great. And you said it, she raised from the dead. I don't think she was really ever dead. But
Nah.
AD
Nah.
Suggs, or assistant to vice president Suggs, I don't know what to
Special
call it.
assistant to the president, Angela.
Special assistant to the president, Angela Suggs. You could just see her fingerprints on all of it, and we're still leading ourselves and going in the right direction. That's all I wanted to say.
Hey, well, Trey, man, I appreciate it, man. I love that. And listen, and that's the thing about what you just said. like you would say, hey man, I don't even know I'm going to OBC, making these trips. But when you have the right hire, you see what you did. First of all, you open up your wallet. So you putting your money where your mouth is. You ain't on the people, the keyboard gangsters doing all that talking. You support it. And then you saw enough to say, you know what, now I'm going to do even more. And I think that's the biggest thing for a lot of FAMU people is exactly that. Man, you had people last year, man, they're like, man, I ain't coming to that Jack State game, man. We done lost by 40. They going to put 40 on us too. You can't have that, man. That's a big game. That's brag's supposed to be filled. So to your point, that's the biggest thing that you see with that whole alignment. And like I say again, I'm a type of person like this, man. If you want to stop a loser streak, you win one game, right? That ends a loser streak. So like Brother Butler said, hey man, President Johnson said, you know what? A lot of stuff going on. I can start a winning streak right here. So you know what? She's on the winning streak. Hey, President Johnson, keep going on the winning streak. Keep going. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That's true. That's true.
So now you got one win. Now let's make it 2. Let's make it 3. And let's get everybody in alignment. Because again, listen, we just trying to win the game. We ain't listen, we were down 20-0. Now we going on a 20-0 run. You know what I'm saying?
Right, exactly. Yep.
So that's it. So I'm gonna keep it positive. I'm not gonna be one of those people because man, listen, one thing I know about people talk about me, it's a funny thing. They don't even know might be talking about me. And I'm like, you don't even know me like that. So it's the same thing. But Trey, I appreciate you, man. Listen, appreciate you.
Mr. Campbell, even going back to that Jackson State game, that was me and my wife had to have a serious conversation. So we went to go sit in the sun against Alabama State. And that was tough to watch.
Right.
And then we went to homecoming, and we won homecoming, but it was a struggle.
That was a struggle.
It was a struggle. So it's like, are we gonna spend more money to go to Tallahassee, pay these exorbitant prices?
Yeah.
To see us put up 10 points, or 17 points or something like that,
Yeah.
Just because of coaching. So you're right. It's a big thing, when we have belief in something, you're gonna want to spend your money. You're not gonna worry about anything. I had to tell her the other day, like, no, we don't have plans on Labor Day weekend. We'll be in Fort Lauderdale. Well, we're from Fort Lauderdale, but we'll be in Miami. So, it's a big thing. It's like I said, today is a good day. I'm ready to donate some more. And I won't forget about the Fang Exchange. Still a member of the Fang Exchange. And I hope that continues to grow with whatever A.D. Davis is talking about.
Yeah, I think that's the key thing. And that's where now they're getting all the stakeholders because we all got to run the same direction. So shout out to Ashley and Tasha with Fang Exchange. Love the name. They've been doing diligent work. And now let's get the university behind that and whatever that looks like, because I know revenue and sharing is coming. We're doing some innovative things with that. So I think that is big time. And again, like what you're saying. So, I'm just talking to all the Rattlers, man. Listen, this is a reset. This is a new year, new era. You see what I got here? Whatever happened in 2025, it happened in 2025. Whoever's in 2025, God bless them, right? We on 2026 and we on with Coach Quinn Gray. So that's what we got.
Starting to strike. All right.
All right, man. Thank you, Trey. Appreciate you. Well, if it is the guy with the J hat that showed up. What you got there, Zoe? Talk to me, man. Listen now, Zoe. I know you are a historian, as you told me. Knowledgeable. All things HBCU sports. Now, I just got a question for you. So now, my coach looked mighty sharp there. He kind of reminded me of somebody with that intellect and that demeanor. Now, so what did you think about the press conference and our new hire? So we can't hear you. We can't hear you. Not muted. Try it again. Still can't hear you. Come back in, Zoe. Come back in and come back out. Yeah, still can't hear you. And you're not muted. No, can't. Come back in and come back out. I'll bring little baby 245, always supporting the Off-Script channel, always supporting the FAMU athlete. Little baby, talk to me. It's 2026. What did you think about the press conference on our new coach?
I'm happy to see some new energy in the building. First, starting with our AD, you can tell that the president and special assistant to the president have all sat down and formulated a plan and a vision that can be implemented immediately.
Okay.
he was able to automatically verbalize what we're going to do, the phases, and articulate that to us. So out the gate, we know he's getting to work. One
Right.
thing that I did love that was him wanting to get an understanding of of the structure of our athletics department, which I
Right.
can't believe is not very organized. Seeing that we've had 20 something odd ADs in over 20 in about 20 years.
Right.
So you're talking about a consistent stop, go and stop, go and stop, go and stop, go and stop, which has left us behind. And so him coming in, getting an assessment of that, implementing some structure can possibly get us going in the right direction. And hopefully we can actually see some stability in that position, which we desperately need, seeing that they're striving for this whole thing to be completed by at least 2030.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't mean to cut you off. I want to expound on. Sometimes, as you well know, I'm pretty sure you're a professional. You got to set goals, but you also have to have a timeline on the goal, right? It wasn't
absolutely.
we just going to fix this in the future. It was like, hey,
Right.
listen, we got 4 years, which is literally a class, right? So those
Mhm.
freshmen that come in, when they come out on the other side, and I'm talking about, and this is with all of us, it should be a different FAMU athletics. And I like
Absolutely.
the fact that he said that, because now he got to hold himself accountable,
Mhm.
to that, because we're going to hold him accountable and
Mhm.
things like that. So I just wanted to point, I think that was a great observation that you made there, but go ahead.
And also on to Coach Quinn, not just focusing on just getting great athletes in, but also getting great students in. And
Yeah.
again, having that cohesiveness, everyone being on the same page from top to bottom, the president, the AD, special assistant to the AD, helping to build that out. We should finally see stability with APR, and that not be an issue for that particular sport. It's usually just, not saying other sports haven't had issues with APR, but football has been the problem child when it came to
Let's
APR.
keep it a buck. No, it's only been football.
Yeah, football has
But
been the problem child.
It's been football. Everybody else is doing 990s and the thousands and 980s and stuff like that. So no, let's like the coach said it. We ain't got to play no games with it. The issue is with football. And
Yeah.
the thing about it is, because it's the majority of the athletes are football players, that skews our APR down. So the fact that he said,
Mhm.
"Look, we ain't about to play this APR game. I ain't about to put my head in the sand. We know what it is." But that means the coach is also going to hold the people in the administration accountable and saying, listen, I need academic advisor. I need to make sure that these kids are on track to graduate. All that's part of the institution that has to happen. The coach can't do that. That's the institution.
And again, that goes back to the AD. Honestly, when first hearing of him, I didn't want to play the he's unqualified game. There was a reason she chose him. And obviously, she chose him not just to bring in some sort of structural or some sort of organizational structure, but also to bring in some money, because everything that he's talking about doing, it requires money. If you want people to help hold students accountable for APR, you're talking about more people who are going to help out with that. You're talking about also, for instance, Driscoll. A lot of people complain about him. Well, guess what? If our previous SID was stressed out with the position, guess what Driscoll's having issues with? He's stressed out also. So if you want that to be better, you have to have money coming in order to hire more people and help build this out. And maybe in the future, something I would actually like to see an entire marketing department.
Right.
Something completely separate from sports information. We need a marketing department. I need to be able to get emails from FAMU athletics concerning football season tickets, basketball season tickets, every single game that's coming up, all the schedules for all the sports. All of that needs to be sent to me as an alum and as someone who has purchased a ticket to a FAMU football game.
Right.
I get it from Troy all the time. I never attended an event at Troy University outside of my brother's graduation.
Mm-hmm.
But they're always emailing me about purchasing football tickets and basketball tickets. I'm getting emails from the president of the university. I'm getting emails from the alumni president. I'm getting emails from each school. I'm getting emails to purchase stuff at the bookstore. I would like to see that happen. at FAMU?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm not gonna say that I know something, but I do know something. A lot of things that you mentioned, because there are certain people in place, I'm not gonna say their names, understand exactly what you're saying. And because now there is a team, not one person, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll use it. So you got AD Davis. So it's very clear he has not had a background in sports, right? Background in business and public policy, stuff like that. But to your point, hey, you know what? And this is the thing about it. Hey, he's an athlete. Hey, man, listen, you said it, so we gonna hold you accountable. I'm gonna get money, and I'm putting $10,000 down, right? Well, you know what? It's very easy to measure that success, right? Fundraisers, raising money. So that's fine. So the things that he does not know or needs to know, guess what? There's a person called special assistant to the president.
Exactly. That's why she kept him on.
That does know. That says, okay, I can fill the gap in here to make this even better. Because again, the challenge, and this goes back, hey man, listen, we all got jobs. The whole point of the job is if you don't perform, and listen, I had an old boss tell me this. He said, Campbell, let me tell you something. There's three things that go on when you work. And two of them, you better be on the right side of. Either you make me money, save me money. But if you cost me money, you won't be here making no money. You see what I'm saying? So that's the thing. So help us make some money. To JD's point, figure out ways to save us money, right? To be more efficient, be more productive, but don't cost us no more money. Let's not talk about with things where we had previous situations with people that unfortunately deficits and things like that. And again, I'm not, hey, people have moved on, so I have moved on. So I ain't gonna mention what I was about to mention. But the bottom line is this hiring was different than the last hire. That's a fact, right?
Yeah.
It's different. And we all know why. Because everybody from the president on down, because like I say, President Johnson, and I think again, you might not understand something until you did. And I like what I think that was Al said it. Hey man, when you get on that plane and you go down to Mississippi Valley,
oh yeah,
and people like that she don't know, that's big money family, like we lose the valley. What you gonna do?
2 years in a row.
What you
and
what
she's
you
been to she's been to every single game, and she wants to be able to have something to stick her chest out about too.
Come on.
Because you don't say that you're president of the #1 public HBCU. All of your other sports programs are winning except for one, which is your biggest moneymaker. And also it's the one everyone else sticks their chest out about. She's invited her friends. She's invited her colleagues to these games. She doesn't want to, she needs something to brag about herself.
Listen, let me tell you something. And you know President Johnson, he got her outfit for every game. Listen, hey man, listen, I listen. As a person that works around a lot of women, deals with, and you know, people know my business. Ain't nothing wrong with being fly. But to your point, you can't be fly if you ain't producing. You see what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
To your point, she brings up people she invited. Man, listen, it feels good when you are a champion. It feels good when you're doing the things that you're supposed to do. And the biggest doorstep is FAMU football. And I tell you one thing, everybody, and trust me, them Prairie View people, and like I say, I felt sorry for them because they had a short runway. But the ones that showed up, and them South Carolina State people who were there and deep, ain't nothing like going to Atlanta for that Celebration Bowl.
She wants to be there. She wants to be there.
Wants to be there. So absolutely. So now a little bit. Listen, I appreciate your support. You always here whenever we do a show. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Like I say, I want to, listen, come back on anytime. Love to hear your perspective and everything. So one last thing, I'm gonna give you tape before I let you go. Anything else before I let you go?
Yes, one more thing, because I saw it in the chat earlier. I saw Perry say that he wanted FAMU to schedule Southern for homecoming, and I thought that would be a great idea also. But then I had to think a little further. One thing about FAMU, homecoming is always a sold out game.
Right.
How about 2 sold out games when you have the greatest show on turf coming to brag?
There you go. Yeah, that would, and then trust me, Southern won't be homecoming. Like so that's money. That's why Jack State was homecoming. You know what I'm saying?
Right, it's money.
Jack State that weekend, you the homecoming weekend. Andrew's like, nah, we ain't about to make that homecoming. We about to get all this money. Y'all come see us play Alcorn, and y'all come on back to Jack. So absolutely. So yeah, and then that's another thing too. Which this is what's so exciting. You're talking about the games that FAMU is going to play. We literally, other than the only game that we won't play in a big game, we don't play Prairie View. But everybody else that's got a name, we playing them. We're playing Alabama State, we're playing Jack State, we're playing Southern. and all this energy. So I'm really, 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 really excited about that. So yeah, so Lil Baby 245, thank you so much. Appreciate you. And you have
You are welcome.
thank you for helping me hold it down.
You're welcome. Happy New Year to everyone.
Same to you. All right, so what you got, man? You got the mic right? Still can't hear you, man. What's going on with you, man? You might need to use your phone, bro. I sent you. Do you see the other link? Okay.
You hear me now?
I hear you now.
All right. You got me now. What's going on, man?
Oh, Zoe, what is going on, man? Listen, y'all know Zoe Phillips, man. Over there, Jackson State alum, podcaster, recruiting understander, historian. Now, so we're gonna line you down here in the Rattler pit. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna let a Tiger come on down here and give his opinion. Now be careful now. We got a lot of so let me tell you something. We weren't striking last year. We striking now, man. We striking now.
That's all good. I'm from the country. Y'all know what we do to snakes in the country. I'm good.
What you guys so talk to me? Talk to me.
Nah, man, I was telling you earlier that I didn't watch all the interview, but I caught the tail end of it. But I didn't need to see much of it. You know what I'm saying? It's just, man, come with the understanding that just off osmosis, it was a good hire. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of similarities to TC being in Jackson State. You know what I'm saying? One of your favorite sons coming home, a reputable coach. But the difference is, you know, Quinn Gray was already a head coach, you know, prior to becoming back home to FAMU. But I think, you know, and, you know, the one thing that he's done outside of some other coaches was he's bringing his quarterback with him. Yeah. Which is a good move for him. But, man, look, you know, I stand on this. I'm for, you know, I like a saturated good swag. Yeah. Which is something that we haven't really, really, truly seen, if we're being totally honest, since the mid-90s. And I'm talking about, you know, a top six. Well, if we're talking about 12 teams, why not have the top 8 teams and they're all formidable? I want parity, but good parity. A thing to where we're winning in the conference. And again, you have more than 2 or 3 good games in the season to dictate the conference play. You know, we should have FAMU be good, Jackson State be good, Grambling be good, Southern be good. And then you talk about adding to that Alcorn be good. Also Bethune-Cookman being Bethune-Cookman. You need that across the board because it gives more credence to the conference. Also by doing that, you're talking about, you know, adding more eyeballs, you know what I'm saying, more intrigue. I mean, you look at the, not to take it away from our level, but you look at the playoff game last night with Ole Miss and Miami. Both teams finished third in their conferences. You know, think about that. Ole Miss, the third place team. Neither team won their conference play. I know it's a different thing on our level, but what the context that I'm giving is when we can talk about in the SWAC, when you're talking about the third and both third place teams in each division, you know what I'm saying? That game having meaning to it, or 2 fourth place teams because the parity is so good, the teams are so good that game has intrigue and have meaning, and that's what you want for this conference. So. If you have a strong FAMU, like I said, and all your blue bloods in that conference hold weight, then you talking about the advent of, you know, still with Prairie View and Texas Southern. I would love to see 8 teams above 500, you know what I'm saying, with great outside conference wins.
Yeah, so listen, you hit it right on the head. It is so important for this conference. It's 2 things. And, you know, like I say, you're a little bit younger than me, but you understand the era because you grew up with your dad and stuff like that. We would go and beat people. And beat those teams.
I lived it. Steve, look, I'm telling you, and I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm 47. I'll be 48 this year. I lived it. The SWAC used to schedule all the time teams in the Southland Conference. We played Stephen F. Austin in the regular season. We played Northwestern State in the regular season and won those games. I've seen it. I lived it. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? And not just Jackson State, Southern, Grambling. We did it. It was a known thing, you know what I'm saying, all throughout the 80s and the early 90s. Why they tend to get away from it, I have no clue. Now, you know, going when I was younger is obviously above my pay grade. I wasn't a young adult at that particular time, but, you know, we did it at one point in time. Why we got away from it, I have no clue. I wish we would get back to doing that because, again, and not on the strength of, like, one to prove anything in regards to going to a playoff or anything, but it just gives more substance and it gives more credence, you know what I'm saying, to your program and the platform that could be on. It just gives more it gives more oomph to it. When you're talking about you got a let's just say an 8-1 FAMU getting ready to face a 8-1 Jackson State, but then both Jackson and FAMU got wins against other FCS conferences, and they don't have a losing record in non-conference play. You know what I'm saying? It really makes that game even more palpable.
Yeah, no, and this is the thing about it. Again, go back to, like I say, you look at Grambling. Grambling was beating, hey, listen, FBS teams with no problem. FAMU won the whole damn thing. And even, like I say, Quinn Gray, like he's talking about winning games in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying?
If I'm not mistaken, Quinn Gray was the quarterback when they won the last playoff game, right?
Correct.
It was Quinn Gray.
Yeah. So when you're talking about that, so he understands that. He understands. Well, he came in. Well, the quarterback got hurt, and then he came in, and then we lost to Youngstown State. Mm-hmm. That's what happened, and things like that. So you're talking about now, and what I'm hoping, this goes back to your point and the bigger picture, what AD Davis was talking about, and all the way in the top. And this is all the schools. Hey man, listen, we have got to get our facilities right. So we got to invest. Because, again, if we get the players, and this goes back, listen, I'll just use Jackson example. Look, y'all got two guys, Travis Terrell and Alon Miller. Somebody clearly knew how to understand, evaluate talent, that these kids were well enough to go to the Big Ten or ACC.
And let me dispel something, too. Yeah, though, it's not it's a catch-22, right? Those were two productive guys, same backfield, and they moved on for a greater payday, right? But I can also tell you that we have this narrative that, the best player you got, they're going to automatically leave. That's not true.
No.
You got plenty of guys who want to stay, but guess what? Just like other schools, if we're willing to, pay a little bit more for those guys, they'll stay. Yeah. And that's what it comes down to. So, yeah, it's still going to be money in some instances, not all. You know what I'm saying? Some guys are going to not necessarily say they're going to chase their payday as well as get to the NFL. Some guys have the feeling that, hey, I probably won't have a chance to get to the NFL. Let me get as much money in college as I can. And some guys are content. They're happy where they are because they're being compensated. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because not only am I being compensated, but I'm playing here and I can make this place my home. But to that point, not to stray too far away from it, yes, you had two guys who obviously were good talent that moved on to the FBS level, both Power 4 level. And guess what? I can assure you, telling you now that they're going to be replaced with guys of equal value, in their slot.
Yeah, so that's the thing. So hang on for me a little bit. I'll bring some other people around. Come in, you're going to keep this thing rocking. Let me see. Bridget, you ready to go? Let me see. There you go. What is that for you?
What's up with you, my guy?
Read on Fridays on the Off Script channel.
What's up with you? Let me get off.
Okay, man, listen, see, so I got to bring the next generation in because, see, we're going to turn this thing over to, when I retire, we're going to turn over. Talk to me, nephew, man. Listen, you saw it. You go down there, man. You have filmed FAMU football. You're taking pictures. Like I say, you know about it. You've seen it from me. You have looked and shook our head like, whoo. Talk to me from your age group and everything. How excited your generation of seeing this coaching hire?
It felt like Willie came in, just to be honest. With the swagger, with the attitude, with the culture change, because when me and you was on the sideline, I was like, man, this feel different. This ain't right. Even homecoming, it didn't feel right. And I kept talking to other people. So I was just making sure I'm not the only one seeing this. Like, FAMU football didn't feel right. But the way he came in and what he doing, calling the celebrities out. Hey, you went to FAMU? Hey, we need some of that money. Hey, you went to FAMU? Hey, come on, we need some of that money. It just feel right, man. Like I said, I'm with it. I'm just really waiting on the coaching staff to see what he bringing in, because he said over 100 years of experience, and that's what them boys need.
All right, well, let's talk about. I want to keep you on, and let's talk about it. And Joe, that's why I kept you on here, because some of the names have been released. Clint Portis from Delaware State, our new running back coach. So, Bridget, tell me, so I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna go, Bridget. I'm going my young friend. What do you think about that, Clint Portis? You saw what he did there. What do you think about that from your perspective?
I mean,
hold on. We're gonna let him go. Me and you gonna circle back around the whole thing. Hold on, go ahead, Bridges.
I learned about Clint Portis through my dad. Like, he was a Redskin fan, so when I saw Clint Portis, I was already like a fan of him, because he's a grind type player, And like he's going to bring that to Tallahassee. He's a Florida guy, Miami. So he came up to practicing that lifestyle of grind, and them Florida boys are gonna be like, "Hey, Clint Porter said, hey, fam, I might as well just go to the street because we already gonna play a game in Miami.
Right.
I'm already gonna be home. Like Florida is home, so like it ain't nothing to go back home for a quick second and bounce back up to Tallahassee. So like now we really gonna see Florida talent. Like we're gonna have speed, we're gonna have grit. Them Florida, you thought you saw dancing in the past with Willie Simmons. You gonna see some dancing on the sideline when the Florida boys start scoring, running up those scoreboards. It's just gonna look good, man.
Now, Zoe, go ahead. What do you think about Clinton Portis being our running back coach?
Well, let me go ahead and educate the youngster, because he actually said he's a Florida guy. Where you from, Steve?
He's really from the great state of Mississippi.
So let me just tell you.
Originally.
So the main thing about Clinton Portis being in Florida is osmosis is going to tell you he's going to make his way back to Mississippi to get some players. That's going to be the main thing. So when we look at it in that regard, you're talking about possibly, him recruiting Florida. Obviously, he played there. He got connections there. And he, being when he left it with the Gainesville and having connections there, family there, but also, again, the bulk of his family being in Mississippi. He's going to make his way there because he knows the lay of the land in Law, which Steve could tell you, Law in Hattiesburg is loaded with talent. So the main thing, and again, he got his resume from last year. He had 2 players that balled out in the MEAC, left. Both players ended up going, moving up to the FBS level with great paydays. So that's one of the things he's going to be selling when he get to FAMU. Plus, he's back in the state of Florida. So it's obviously a win-win for him.
But listen, man, I had to bring up my other nephew, Jay Peeps, in the house, man. Come on, man. Listen,
What's going on?
How you doing, man? 2026. I'm gonna come to you in 1 second, but I'm gonna rotate to the next thing. I'm gonna go back to Bridges. Now, Bridges, I'll tell you another thing too. One of the biggest hires, I think, and we heard about this, is Ryan Lewis from Alabama State.
Oh yeah,
top ranked. So Bridges, now listen, we saw them 40 points. We was on the side saying that 40 points. What do you think that Ryan Lewis is going to bring?
Man, he gonna bring that hard nose hitting defense that we used to seeing. We gonna see the defensive ends actually getting to the quarterback. We're gonna see the middle getting clogged up, and we're gonna have safeties and corners that can hit, not just trying to pick the ball off and get past deflection. When we saw Marquise Bell back there, Marquise Bell is bringing that lumber. Them boys again. Them bowler boys. They out there hitting, making fumbles, causing disruption in the backfield. So I already know we're going to see the same type of play just like that when you get that defense on the roll.
Now listen, I'm gonna say, I'm gonna come to you, and then JP, I'm gonna come to you about that, and then we'll kind of rotate it. Here's the thing, Ryan Lewis, Pompano Beach. You already know what that is down there. Hey, man, that's what, see, Zoe, you've heard this thing. That's called the state of Miami, from Pompano all the way down with nothing but players. So Ryan Lewis, who actually went to Bethune-Cookman from Pompano, so he knows, again, where that rich talent area is. So listen, you've seen those Ryan Lewis defenses, man. They gave Jackson State hell. Tell us about what you think about the hire with Ryan Lewis.
I mean, it's a good natural fit. Now, he gave Jackson some hell, but Jackson still got them W's. So it goes back to what I said.
He didn't coach the offense though, so that's thing.
Hey, don't matter. Points were scored. But it's a good hire. I mean, his reputation, his resume speaks for itself. You know what I'm saying? And so the reason why we go so strong our resumes is what? Because in all things in life, we want what? Guarantees. Mm-hmm. Now we know nothing really is, but that's why you have a strong resume. It speaks to me feeling like I got a guarantee coming here. Your resume speaks for itself. And so again, you look at what he did at Alabama State for his whole time there. And again, being that he's from Florida, played at Bethune-Cookman, I mean, you can't help but be excited for it because again, you go from how you looked with the points that you were giving up last year with Coach at the helm, as well as being the DC, it creates optimism. So again, you talk about bringing in your favorite son. You got another Floridian, coming in with Portis as your running back coach. Now you bring in Ryan Lewis as well. So all you're doing at this juncture, man, anytime you're coming off a failed regime to go to the next year to generate buzz, because right now no games being played. So the only thing you can do right now is generate buzz with, man, we feel good because we got this on paper, this great resume. We got this great staff. You segue that to what? All you can do is segue that to what? Generate buzz to go to signing day. And then from there, try to generate buzz with men. I like what we're doing in spring ball. Because again, no game been played, but I feel good. I like where we go. It just feels good.
Yeah.
And then you got to segue and use that momentum going into the season.
All right, JP's coming. Listen, man. Listen, nephew. Listen, you following this thing. I want to start off. I'm going to start back. What did you think about the – hey, I want you – because you are a media guy. You know visuals. What did you think about the press conference? What did you think about what A.D. Davis said? And what did you think about our hire, Coach Quinn Gray?
So overall, I thought the press conference was amazing. I loved that A.D. Davis basically came right out the gate, basically said, he had a 6 to 12 month phase. I was like, no, we need something immediate. But the thing I took away from it was, his discipline, compliance. He also stated too, systems, not personality, will drive outcomes. And then of course, for Quinn, I liked how he started out when he said, and I wrote this down actually, I'm not the 19-year-old who played against Youngstown. He said, I'm not the same Quinn who came here with no experience. He also said, I'm a leader of men. And he said the goal is to get FAMU back to the top of not only HBCU football, but also FCS football. Mm-hmm. So I see where he's thinking, and the other thing too, listening to y'all talk again about, Ryan Lewis, Clinton Portis, and even Quinn, and I said it in the comment section on this channel, I want to say a couple of weeks ago when it was just you, Mr. Campbell.
Yep.
The counties, even like Marvin right here saying, the Florida rabbit chasing counties will be recruited. Those counties like, West Palm, Muck City, Miami-Dade, Broward, Hillsborough County here where I live at, Orange County, you got Duval, Leon, Madison County. And there are kids in these counties that have the grades to get into FAMU. Mm-hmm. And, and even the other county we don't talk about is Polk County, because for those of you that don't know, Polk County is that's the county where the Pouncey twins, Ahmad Black, all those talented Florida Gator players, that's where they came from. That's always been the University of Florida's county. So it's good to finally have people on this staff that are likely going to be able to go into that county and take talent away. Plus, factor in, we're in a period right now in the state of Florida where there's so much transition. Yes, Mario Cristobal is doing his thing at Miami. Likely FAMU will be playing what could be the eventual national champions. But you have turnover at USF right now. You have turnover at Florida right now. You have uncertainty across the tracks at Florida State. There are kids in the portal that are still looking for homes that you could really just go out there and go take right now. So it's so much working in favor of Quinn right now. But again, go back to the other thing he also said too. He said, we're looking for the best. We can't take everybody. So I respect it. Everybody's going to say, go get this guy, go get that guy, but again, he's got to take who he can get.
Let me expound on that. That's a good thing, because let me tell you, and I'm gonna say something I know, and we'll just keep it for this year. There are people at FAMU, and this goes. We have alums that are great high school coaches all over the state, and the pipeline. And Grambling does this very well. You know how Grambling gets all those kids? Because somebody from Grambling says, "Go get this guy." This is a good thing that people are reaching out to Coach Gray and say, "Hey, I got this kid that can fit FAMU." Now, maybe not, but the point of it is that pipeline is getting back to be open. That pipeline was closed because what happened? And again, he said it, I didn't say it. We're going in the portal because that's where all the guys are. But look at what happened in the portal. Like Coach Gray said, them kids didn't want to be at FAMU. They came to play football. They didn't want to be Rattlers. Yeah. When you got guys that are FAMU Rattlers that are coaching these kids, and even to the point that went to the portal, right? But he knows I can validate for the kid. You know what I'm saying? And say, hey, Coach Gray, that kid went off the University of Florida, didn't work out well, but I'm telling you, he can be a Rattler. And I'm going to make sure that he goes to class because you call me and let me know. That's the thing that I think when you look at it from that aspect is a great thing. You didn't hear previous coaches saying, well, I got all these people calling me, telling me about players. You didn't hear that. What he said, it's too many of y'all calling me. Let me know. But I'll tell you this, and now I can speak on this. SWAC legend, Bruce Eugene Grambling. I met Bruce here in the Atlanta metro area. He said, hey, Mr. Campbell, listen, I got one of the best quarterbacks in the state. Need to come check him out. I go down there. Now, I used to be an agent, so I kind of know what to look for. And all I see is a young, and first of all, he had the height. He's 6'1", about to grow. He gonna get another spur because his dad is 6'3", right? So I'm all ready. And I'm watching this kid call his own plays. I'm watching this kid doing film work. So I go, I tell hey, this kid, he comes down on a visit. Hey, Mr. Campbell, I won't be a Rattler. I tell, hey, this kid's from Georgia. We got that pipeline. I got to shut that pipeline down from Georgia in Atlanta Metro. Kind of was limbo. But you know what? When you talk a quarterback to quarterback, because Quinn knows Bruce Eugene and knows his greatness, now we got Armand Parker, one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the state of Georgia, that's going to build and be ready to play. He's coming in as a freshman this semester. He ain't waiting. He's already graduated. But my point of it is that the ability to talk to people and get players like that he was getting ready to go to Tennessee State. Now we got a great quarterback that Quinn can build on, that looks like him, that can play. So that's just big time right there. So what do you think about that? What are you looking at? Oh, well, let me talk about this. Ron Dugans. JP, you can kind of talk about this. Ron Dugans, new wide receiver coach, coming from FSU. I think Ron Dugans is from Tallahassee, if I remember correctly.
I'm not 100% sure. I just remember Ron Dugans was basically Robin to Peter Warwick's Batman back in the day. Like, and dude, them dudes were special. Like,
so exactly. So you're talking about guys that know what the standard, what it looks like. See, this is the thing about it. And Knowles, hey, listen, Knowles already committed. So we're going to bring, and Joe talked about this. So Knowles is coming from Albany State to FAMU. So you're talking about a guy that knows the system, that's going to be able to come in and get like, hey, man, get that whatever Quinn calls his offense. Hey, man, I'm calling it gray skies because it's about to be some thunder and lightning coming, boy. So, you know, that's the thing about it. So, yeah, Ron is for talent. Thank you. So, again, and the reason why I said that Ron is important, because I think he went to FAMU. I think I heard Vaughn say that. But the point of it is he knows what FAMU is. He's not foreign to what FAMU is. That's my thing. I think the biggest thing is to get people that, you know, that's going on and looking at it and stuff like that. What you guys know?
No, that's about to say, where's Scotty at? They're too boring for me.
Hey, man, listen. We different. We different.
my goal is to not please you.
Hey, listen. Hey,
hold on. Let me get my high pitched voice on right quick.
Yeah, for
sure.
This isn't my show, so I can't say what I want to say.
Sure. We ain't Scotty. It's only one Scotty. It's only one Scotty. So if you want to
keep the channel alive, me and Zoe gonna keep the channel alive. So we're gonna keep it rocking. Go ahead, Zoe.
Oh, trust me, I'm talking enough shit for you in the fall. Trust me. So, but nah, man. Like I said, man, the staff, it is what it is. I mean, that's why I would say to anyone, like I mentioned in regards to Southern earlier, you know, the main thing at this point, because no games have been played, are to do the right things to generate the necessary momentum going into signing day. And FAMU's doing it. You're hitting the mark. Because again, you could be having the opposite where, you know, fans are questioning everything. Why are we going this direction? There's no buzz. There's no synergy there. Similar to how it was when Cozy came on, even though the players, that's who they wanted, but you can see there was no unified front when we talk about the fan base in regards to which direction we're going. You know, and when you have we have no choice but to wait and see, it's not the best feeling that you want going into the spring or going into signing day, you know, and you're going to actually need signing day to generate some buzz, you know what I'm saying? But when you miss the mark or when the fan base feels like you missed the mark, then you add that to signing day and not feeling too good about it. We have this whole wait and see approach to it, then you're kind of missing the mark. And then that goes into sales on the season tickets. That goes into everything else. This is the complete opposite. When you do the thing that we feel is great, generates that buzz, now you got momentum going into signing day. Look, we got a quarterback coming in. All these specialized nuances that we like, it generates buzz. So now when you take that, now you go into signing day. And I'm telling you now, if the fans feel good about what they've signed on signing day, that's just adding log to that fire. Now you got momentum. Guess what? Now you can we can sell way more season tickets than we did this year than what we did last year. Because damn, we got to strike while the iron's hot. Plus, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. You add to the fact, damn, we were bad last year. Prairie View won their first year coach, and you know what I'm saying? That's going to add even more another log to that fire. So then you take that going into spring season. damn, man, they signed them guys. We look good in the spring. It's going to add more momentum. You're going to ride that going to your first game of the season, bro. You see what I'm saying? And look, Lord knows, do not let them look good in that first game. That's all it takes. Because now, watch this. You got Quinn Gray in his first year. You got Marshall Falk. Now, granted, Marshall Falk's never coached, but the same thing. You know, again, we like the staff that he has right now. Everything's feel good. Let them guys sign, a decent class. Let them see what they like at spring training. Let Southern win that first game, or if they lose, they look the part like they need to. Yeah. That's all that you need, because right now that's the only thing you can do, because no games are being played. So right now they're hitting the mark on everything they need to hit it on.
So I'm gonna tell you this, and this is what I want, and I'm asking the commissioner this. I need Mississippi Valley to be the first FAMU home game. First fan. I don't want to wait until the end of the year. I want that to be our first SWAC home game, and we got to put 7.
I will make a guarantee for you right now.
What's that?
I'll make a guarantee for all you FAMUers right now. Y'all tell me if I'm lying. I bet you when y'all play Mississippi Valley at home next year, this is gonna be the highest attended Valley game y'all ever had.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, 100%. Listen, man. Yeah. I'm Catholic. I'm Catholic. And see, at the beginning of the year, when you go to church, they give you holy water to bless your house, to get away all the bad spirits. I need Valley the first home game.
And we talking about Valley.
I need Valley. And we put 70 and end all of that. And T-Buck, and listen, y'all know T-Buck is my guy. But we got to put 70. It's just, we don't need to wait. Let's get that out the way. Because I'm trying to tell you, if you want that to be box office, like Zoe said, don't put that game at the end. Put that game right up front, so everybody can see it. Go, like you say, so we're gonna pack that out because we got to. I need a cannon going. I need it all. Hey man, listen, man. Shout out to this guy, man. This is my thing. So this is our Jackson homie, Murrah guy, 88 guy. He said, "Jesus help us." Hey, listen, Israel, listen, y'all. Hey, listen. Let me tell you something about this dude here, man. He have his good jokes. He have his little snarky little comments. He was a Cozy fan. He liked that Cozy was there and everything.
I bet he did.
Oh yeah, man. Israel, big Cozy fan. Big Cozy fan, man. He come in there, when they had the coaches calls, so Israel was always he and yeah. But that's all right, Israel. We don't change up, man. Happy New Year to you, brother. Hope all you and all your family's good. But yeah, but do y'all not feel me on that? Is that not a brilliant marketing idea? That Valley, that first game, let them come on down. Let's get them. Come on, man.
Yeah. And to you, Mr. Campbell, I just thought about this. Just him paying attention to the details. He said, bring back the cannon. And when I was on the field, the security didn't let JRTC on the field. They told them they could not get on the field. And I'm looking like, huh?
Right.
I'm like, don't they always come on the field regardless of what's going on or what's happening? And like when he said the cannon, and I'm like, yeah, I did not hear the cannon last year at all. That just lets you know that he's paying attention to these little details that was going unsolved or not even looked at. Even with the having respect for the student section, like those are details that he's looking at that we're not even paying attention to. Like we say something about it, but like we're not paying attention to those little details that he's paying attention to. So he loves FAMU, and he's going to put FAMU on his back.
Oh yeah.
Well, let me tell you why. Sometimes, and Zoe understands his point. You know why? And again, Cozy went to Florida State. Cozy don't know what that cannon mean. Don't understand it. You guys say Quinn Gray know what that cannon mean, like he said, because they were scoring 40, 50 points a game, that gunpoint offense. Coach Quinn Gray can say, hey, students, I can't have y'all both doing my play. Because you know why? He was a student athlete. Yeah. He knew that his classmate, hey man, what y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna do? So he had the grace to be able to say, hey, listen, guys, I don't need y'all to do that anymore. But I'm gonna give you a team that you won't have to boo anyway. So you can say that when you're a Rattler. You can say that and mean something. It's no different than when TC comes out there, and we had him on the show, and he talks about what happened to Jack State and bring it back in that stadium and what that means. So talk about that a little bit with TC, even with Dion. I mean, it was all the hoopla and all that stuff. But the thing about TC said, I understand it's a little bit different. How does that even mean for a coach having a coach that's been there?
Well, I mean, it's to that point, like what he mentioned, what it comes down to, man, it's small nuances, you know what I'm saying, that any other coach just wouldn't have. You know, when you actually were there for 4 years or 3 years and you stay on campus, you live in the dorms, you're going to all the things, but it's all the little inner working, all the small little nuances, you know what I'm saying, that you have, even just being on the team as a player. You know, like even like TC, for example, you know, they call each other Steiner brothers, you know what I'm saying? They've been there suplexing each other, you know what I'm saying? Just stuff like that. Like, I'm just saying, you have those small nuances when you go there. And so, you know, like, I'll even give you guys an example. Like, you know, we, with Fort Georgia Club, you know, we fought so hard to get the red accent back. And it was a fight. And it's still a daily fight now. But, you know, in TC, when he played, was the last generation of players to actually wear the red block. You know what I'm saying? And so when he came in, there was a help to, you know, to get that back. But even like now, we got another fight because, you know, we have a thing where when we have the red block, we only wore, I think, 2 games this year. But like with the traditional helmet, you know, we're fighting on a small nuance of like, hey, we want the red block on both sides of the helmet as opposed to logo on one side, the number on one side. Because again, just having that traditional look one time, there's some nostalgia there. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about old JSU tradition, even having everybody in the red shoes, it's nuances to that because that's what it was when we were, you know, winning at our heyday. And you have other things taking those things away. But to further answer your question, man, it's just when you're there in the trenches going through these things, they matter to you. And again, that's how traditions start. You know what I'm saying? You do something, you have some success with it, and there's carryover to it. You did some one year, the next year you did it too, and then everybody picks up on it. Traditions start. Even now in the year of our Lord 2026, there can be things that Quinn Gray can do in his first year at FAMU that can start a new tradition at FAMU. You see what I'm saying? And it's just everybody picks up to it. But there's some organics to it, right? It wasn't a forced thing. But sometimes it can be, hey, we're going to implement this here because we should have that. But the thing is, when you have that, it sinks and bleeds into everything within, you know, the university, the campus, and everybody that's affiliated with FAMU or your beloved school. The thing is that you stick to it. You know, for example, when you talk about Ohio State, they talk about the script Ohio on the field. Well, damn it, they've been doing the same. That's what made college. They've been doing the same thing since 1940. You know what I'm saying? You talk about even FAMU when they do the Death March. You know, only FAMU is the only HBCU that has the Death March, right? But they've been doing it since Dr. Foster started the band. See, I think I know that, huh? Yeah, I think I know that, right? But
Dr. Foster, I'm letting you on here. So that's the reason I'm letting you on here.
But they've been doing the Death March since Dr. Foster started, right? But they still do that today. They may not do it as much, but they still do it. But it's like that's what makes college. You have those traditions because as we matriculate through life, so much in your life changes. But you know what stays the same? I can go back to FAMU for homecoming, but guess what? All those things when I was in school, all those things, there's some nostalgia there. It's still the same. So that's what we talk about traditions, and we don't need anybody to take those from us. So to answer your question, Steve, is when you have a former player become coach now, he can actually know all those, and he can reminisce on all the nostalgia that when I was here, we did this. Why they get away from this? You know what I'm saying? Oh, when I was here, we did this. We used to run this offense. You know what I'm saying? Now, we know Jake Gaither and football has changed, so we're not going to be going out here and running the split line T offense. You know, we know that, right? But there's still the things that Jake Gaither did, you know what I'm saying, that we want to implement. You know what I'm saying? And hell, even if it's at practice, yelling, hey, highlight my football players, you know, agile, hostile, and mobile. You know what I'm saying? But whatever. You still have traditions, and we got to get back to those. But that's the cool thing about having an alum, a beloved alum, come back to your school because I can pull on all the nostalgia of things that we used to do at our university.
Now, JP, I want to ask you a question. You done a podcast. We've done it together. What are some of the things just for you that you would like to see the coach do? And it could be anything, you know, like those talking about tradition. You know, Bridge talking about bringing the cannon back. Just from your observation and just hearing what he's talking about, what are you most excited that you think coach is going to implement?
Well, yeah, I got to go to two things. I saw it in the comment section. Definitely the cannon, because I remember as a kid going to homecoming, like, because they scored so frequently, like, before Quinn, when Quinn was there, and then even after Quinn with Coach Joe, like I used to have to sit there like this because they scored so many times. Like they scored like 60 points in one game, and I looked at my mom, I'm like, is this ever gonna end? And I'm just like, good God. But yeah, the cannon, and also too, like the helmet stickers too, like, it was always significant when you saw, the snakes on the like those white with those white like little circle, like green snakes on like a white circle, like on the helmets and stuff.
Yep.
And then it was so unique because when you look at like University of Georgia or another school like Ohio State, who
Michigan.
That's what they got it for. Rudy Hubbard brought that to FAMU.
Yeah,
with the Buckeye stickers.
Yep. And it's like they started in the back at these other schools, like Georgia with the bones. You start in the back of the helmet. Yep. But like with FAMU, the thing I had noticed was like they always started in the front and then went to the back. So those are a couple things I'm looking forward to as far as tradition goes. Now, as far as scheme-wise goes, like I'm looking to see more creativity on offense. I'm looking to see more aggressiveness on defense. Like I need to see like, reckless abandonment, what I talked about on ONG Strike Zone a couple weeks ago, the controlled aggression, things like that. So those are things I'm looking forward to seeing.
Look, I'm not a FAMUan, but since you mentioned the helmet stickers, one thing, I'm a uniform guy. One thing I would love for FAMU to do at least one game, man. Since you bring back the helmet stickers, man, bring back the old logo with the FAMU with the coil snake under it. You know what I'm saying? Which is what they had under the.
That is old school right there, boy.
I remember
that looked good with the helmet stickers. I don't even know why they changed it. I like the snake head. Obviously, it looks good with a satin helmet. It looks good, right? But still, at least one game, bring back the old school FAMU logo with the
That's what we had when I was in school. So that's the thing. See, this is the thing. What's great, and Britt, I'm gonna bring you back on too. Is that he knows these things. These are things that he doesn't have to ask somebody to go down the hall. What do you think about it? Because he's grown up with it. He understands that. So again, and I hate when people, we got two sides of this. I don't want people to be stuck in tradition. I want people to honor tradition. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yes. We don't want to get stuck. But there is something, again, and like I said, Zoe and I talk about this, but it's something like what he's talking about. When you won championships and then you kind of bring that back every once in a while for a big game, man, listen, folks get hyped for that. Get hyped for that. So, when you see that, and the same thing about the cannon, everybody's laughing about the cannon, like right here. As I talk about the cannon way too loud. But that was the whole thing. Everybody just like, oh, but you knew when that cannon went off, we were scoring.
After a while, once you get older, you get used to it, though. So that's the good thing.
And listen, now this right here, listen. Now, Club Bragg with the light show, shout out to Angela Suggs who put that together, and that cannon, and they can get that thing going. Listen. Listen. That's why it's not being fun. See, now that game in Valley got to be at night now. It's got to be.
I'm a top flight person, so you already know that.
7 o'clock at night, so everybody can be in there nice and cool. Club Bragg, totally wash out Valley. Got to do it. Got to do it. Guys, like I say, one of the things too I wanted to kind of talk about is the recruiting. And he talked about this, and Coach Quinn Gray, and again, please, I know you follow Bridge, I know you look at it. Listen, we heard Haley's coming back. Burrs is coming back. He talked about 2 defensive line. Now, here's the thing about I have people saying, man, he want them defensive linemen back. I'm gonna say something about this. There's a difference about kids that can and can't play, and there's a difference about kids need to be coached up. This is, I think, an opportunity where kids are going to be able to be coached up. What do you guys think about that? To me, I think getting Haley back is huge in that offense that he's going to be able to do, because it ain't going to be just hand off and hope he dance and go. I think there are going to be plays set up for him to get open, both passing and in the running game. Peeps and Bridges, what do you guys think about what you're seeing, the recruiting that he's doing in the portal? Because like I said, I'll tell you this too. This weekend, you're going to see a lot of those portal guys coming to FAMU. But overall, what do you guys think what you've seen so far? Pete, I'll start with you, and Bridge, I'll go to you. What do you think what you've seen so far with the recruiting?
I think that, you're seeing, someone that has a plan come in, that, he sees the potential in guys like Haley, like Burris, and he wants to maximize their potential. Another guy I would throw in there too is Ace Cobb. He's a guy that, went through the season. He was injured. He wasn't playing at 100%. And you know, and even me and Bishop had talked about it, you know, anytime you step on that field, like there's no excuse. Now, granted, you know, I'm curious to see what he can do and how Quinn in this offense can take his game to another level. So, you know, Ace Cobb is another guy. And then what was the second part of your question? I'm sorry.
Well, I wanted to think about with the recruiting. What did you think about the recruiting? What you basically answered it, and what do you think about what he's going to use with the players that are coming back? Like I say, so what do you think about the recruiting that he's doing? And then you asked the first part about the players that's coming back. Have you seen some of the guys that he signed? What do you think about some of the signees that he's getting?
I think they're great, honestly. I think they're great. You know, some of the guys that he's brought in from Albany State. I know he had a defensive back, I think, from Chattanooga that also came on a visit that likely will be committing. I think he's like a 6'2" corner, I believe. So, you know, honestly, I'm a firm believer that when you recruit corners, you know, you don't always need like the small 5'9" type guy. I'm a believer that, you know, a 6'1", 6'2" type corner, big physical type guy that can run is, you know, the name of the game in this day and age of college football. So, you know, that's what excites me.
Bridges, what do you see from your perspective of what you're seeing for us bringing some of the players back and some of the recruiting that you might have seen online?
So bringing some of the players back, that just gives you more veteran presence in the locker room. So that gives you like the lay of the land. This or this at, this or this at. Hey, go over here, don't go over here for the new people that's coming in. Plus, the people that stayed, they already bought into FAMU. That's why they're staying. They're like, yes, they're staying for the coach, but they're staying for the love of FAMU. That's the most important thing about the players that are coming back. They love FAMU that much where, okay, y'all just put a cherry on top by getting a good coach. With the recruiting process, man, you got one of the best recruiters in Florida. Like, I feel like one of the best recruiters in Florida. You brought him back. So like now it's like just to see who we going to get, because you never know what type of player we're going to get as far as like a good athlete. So you put those in perspective as far as like, okay, you got some veterans, you get some high school kids, and you get some portal kids. I feel like this may be then here's another thing. It's coming off of a losing season.
Right.
People are coming to FAMU off of a losing season. The D2 players are coming to FAMU off of a losing season.
Uh-huh.
That tells you about the coach, about the recruiting coach, and about the FAMU environment, that they love FAMU so much, or they fell in love with FAMU, that, hey, we're in the process with you, coach. Whatever you got, we got. If you got $10, we got $10. And we're going to figure out how to get 20.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the process of what they're doing right now. And they're buying in. Like he said, they're all in. They're all in. They're pushing all their chips forward.
Well, that's the thing about it. And JP, here's the thing when you talk about, well, that's what Ryan Lewis likes. He likes those big corners. He likes those 6'1", 6'2" guys. That's his thing. You know, guys that are physical, that are going to, they ain't not no prima donna that's going to go and tackle and hit people. So I think that has something to do with, you know, maybe Coach Gray said, what kind of guys that you want to make your defense to be. And then the thing about it is, which again, we're in the state of Florida. We're talking about guys that are big and fast.
Yes.
They're going to have the ability to get those guys. So that's the thing. I really think, to me, which when I sit back and look at this, it was a lot of things going on last year, unfortunately. And that's what happens when you have we've all heard the stories and rumors and all that. But the biggest thing that I heard from Coach Quinn, hey, it's a new sheriff in town. And from schoolwork to, hey, you don't get on the main field until you get on this field, this practice field.
Love it.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's not the same thing. So again, I just think those are things. And like I say, somebody said it earlier about him going to the 220 quarterback club. That is going to be fire. That is going to be fire because he's not going to stumble over his words. He's not going to have the people that play for Jake Gates coaching him. He's going to be able to answer the question, and he's going to be saying, this is what we're going to do. We're not going to – we have people in the 220 club giving schematic. Coach, I'm just trying to tell you.
That was wild. That was wild.
That was hilarious.
That's when you totally have lost control, when you got people that are football knowledgeable trying to give you football knowledge. We need a coach to say, listen, This is what we're going to do. Y'all just come in the stands and give us money. That's what we need. Because when you start having that back and forth, you kind of already have loved that. You lost that. You know what I mean? So I think that's what just is so important to go. So guys, listen, we got 12 minutes. We're going to end the stream at 12 o'clock. So I'm going to circle back around, get everybody's final thought. Zoe, look, so Zoe, I want you to look at it, and you kind of talked about this. Micro, what do you think about what is this for FAMU? And also, what does it mean for the SWAC overall with this coaching hire that you kind of talked about? And what are you looking forward to? And what games are you looking for that FAMU is going to play?
I mean, well, just on the surface, I think everybody can agree just off what he did last year. You're talking about, and honestly, if you go back to the previous, we can go back, 3-4 seasons. There's only been 2 coaches off top that actually came to the SWAC off winning records. And, typically when we hire a new coach, everybody said, oh, I want a proven coach, right? And I would always say, you're not going to really get much on the FCS level because they're in the playoffs. Outside of outside the MEAC and the SWAC, and those coaches, for the most part, they're going to the Celebration Bowl. So the only proven head coach you're going to get are going to be from JUCO or D2. Right. So you only had 2, and that was Jackson last year with Prairie View, and now you have Quinn with FAMU. So just off of that alone, you have reasons to be excited about that. Then you add all the other outliers. The fact that he's an alum, well-known player, not just an alum, but a well-known player there who fans love while he was there, that had success as a player when he was there. And so just off that alone, you have that to be excited about, as a FAMU alum. But to the conference as a whole, it add quality depth, to the coaching lineup. When you add the names now, you talk about, you got T-Jack, TC, you look at Sam Shea going into a second year, right? But still, that's a quality name within the conference. Now you're talking about adding Quinn, who won, and he's not coming in, with any experience. It's another quality name to a program, a Blueberry program within the conference, and just in the HBCU landscape. And so when you look at that, as opposed to the MEAC, to the SWAC, it shifted the tide now because, again, you had Vic and Deshaun Jackson. They had more pizzazz or power with their name. But then now you look at the depth, because if you take out really like 3 coaches with reputable status in that conference, Michael Vick just as a player, Deshaun Jackson changed it with the success he had last year, and Trey Oliver. Plus, then you add South Carolina State coach. You got 4 good coaches. Yeah, now you move over, and now you got Splash with Marshall Falk. You got TC doing what he was doing. Now you add Quinn Gray. We're starting to shift the tide with credibility within the coaching in the conference. So that's the other thing that it adds, within a conference landscape.
Beautiful, Zoe. Bridget, what you got? Your final thoughts on what you think about the hire? What what are you looking forward to, and what you gonna do with your show when you starting back up?
Man, I thought about it. I'm gonna probably start back up next week.
Okay.
Because I just been a busy person, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I've been a busy person, so I'm gonna try to start back up next week. What I feel about the hire, I think it's a win-win out of all situations for the older generation to the new generation. It's a win-win. I know I'm in a group chat with a lot of my classmates. We've been talking about it. We've been hitting each other up like, oh, we got this player, we got this coach. You know what I'm saying? We got Clint Boy, we got this. So, just already excitement. And what I'm looking forward to is just almost trying to sell out every home game. Because last year we had we had the fan engagement there. We just didn't have the product on the field.
And we had it was a great schedule with the big time teams that were coming in, and we didn't execute.
We just didn't execute. So we got at the end of we got our money's worth as far as making that schedule, but we weren't happy what was the process of on the field. So I'm looking out to more regular just sellout games besides homecoming.
Right. Jay Peeps, what do you think, man? Let's appreciate you coming on, man. First of all, tell people about your podcast and what do you see, overall, and what you're excited about.
So you guys can find us on Penalty Talk, Wednesday nights, Run and Gun podcast. Me, Ace, Mr. Sasser, chopping it up. I was unable to be on there this week. I'm a little under the weather, getting over a really bad fever. I don't know how I got it. Well, I got it out there at the Bucks-Panthers game. That's how I got it.
No, it was raining out there, wasn't it?
Raining sideways.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, those two did a good job and everything. They basically broke down everything, playoffs, college football and NFL playoffs. But As far as what to expect from Quinn this year, I expect to see a lot of attention to detail. I expect to see a lot of emphasis on details, cleaning up the little things, not making those same mistakes. I expect us to look like a much more improved team from week 1 all the way to week 13, which is something that was not done last year. I expect us to close out those tight games and stuff, seal those close games, be smarter on offense, have a much better approach and preparation, like he stated in his interview or in his presser. I'm sorry. And then as far as games I'm looking forward to this year coming up, obviously Orange Blossom Classic is one. I'm still curious to see who the opponent's going to be for that. If it is Tennessee State, I am all for it. My thing is, if it's Tennessee State, South Carolina State, I'm all for it. It's been a while since I've seen Tennessee State play, so I'm looking forward to that. Also looking forward to whoever the homecoming opponent is. I got my season tickets already. I'm also looking forward to, I won't be able to make the trip to Jackson, but I'm looking forward to the Jackson State game as well too. And of course, Florida Classic. By the way, if that game is unable to be played in Orlando, I think they do need to bring it back to Tampa.
Beautiful.
Well, I heard stories about that.
So listen, man, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to kind of give an overall. We have a new president. We have a new AD. We have a new head football coach. I think they couldn't have did a better job at that press conference that they did today. And I think, again, I'm going to say this again. To end a losing streak, you just got to win one. So they won one today. And I'll say that with all my chest and everything, because it's not about the politics. It's about the people now. And what I mean by that is about executing your job. The president has a job. AD Davis has a job. Coach Quinn Gray has a job. So now we're going to hold you accountable because we are fans. We love FAMU. But the one thing I like, and shout out to AD Suggs, is that it finally, for a long time, it looks like we're all going in the right direction. So I'm excited about what's going to happen. I want people to donate to the Restore the Strike. Hey, man, we're going to be doing things on this channel. Like I say, the channel is still here. Me and Zoe going to hold it down. Perry's going to hold it down. Bridges is going to show up. I'm going to bring Jay Peeps on and stuff like that. And I'll say this again because ain't no secret. Proud of Scotty. He came into this HBCU space, and now he's found a new passion, a new calling. And again, I wish him well, and I want him to do well. I don't want him to come on this YouTube channel cause no problems. You got something else to focus on. Stay focused on that, and we'll hold this down. But, man, I'm super excited because, man, this is what this is all about. I like the fact that we're talking football. We ain't talking about no 237s and somebody getting fired and somebody doing this. We talking football, man. It's been a long time coming, man. And, things like that. So I'm super excited. So I appreciate you coming on and everything because, again, the perspective has been great. Like I said, you always been fair. Bridges, I'm proud of you. And JP, I just got to meet you, brother. I'm proud of you all. So, man, we're gonna put this thing together, and then we're going to swizzle it out, talk a little bit football because, what I would like to do is maybe bring everybody back on once this portal closes because that's when you're going to kind of see what their recruiting looks like for everybody and things and stuff like that. We're going to be bringing that quarterback in from Albany State. It's a lot of players that I know that are excited about FAMU, man. So I want everybody to be excited about FAMU. This is a great day. And, again, it's just a great way to start 2026 because 2025 was a mess. It was a total mess. So I really, really appreciate it, man. Thanks, everybody, from joining the Off Script channel, man. I'm glad that you guys got to see the press conference and watched it with us. I think we do it a little bit different. You know what I mean? We're giving a great perspective, I think. And I'm going to say this again. Scotty is Scotty. I'm proud of him. So we're gonna still bring that energy, but it's going to be just a different way how we do it. You know what I mean? So, again, I appreciate everybody watching, man. Have a happy new year. We may or may not do a watch party tonight. We had a great thing last night with Ole Miss and Miami. It was a great game. I have to kind of look at my schedule to see if we do something tonight. If we do it, guys, come right back here at 7:30 tonight, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. So, man, everybody have a happy, blessed new year. Have a great weekend. To all the students going back to school, get your class and hurry up and register. And I'm going to say this to all you kids that's in the portal. I'll tell you a secret. School is starting. You better figure out where you're going, and you better beg to get back because you might be stuck out there, and I don't want to see you stuck, man. So I appreciate y'all. Y'all have a great day. See y'all later. All right.